is just like a really weird buddy cop show now.
I have never, and I can say this, I've never played in a game where one party member has been actively trying to eat the other.
You're not playing the right game.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the RPG channel, RPG Academy Twitch channel. I'm new here. Don't worry about me. Tonight we're here for the sample adventures. This time we're taking a look at Dragonbane, which is a medieval fantasy style RPG from I cannot talk. I was going to say Free Ligan or Free League, depending on if you speak Swedish or not. I will be your game master tonight. And joining me, some amazing players. They're going to introduce themselves and the character that they're playing. I'm going to start with my favorite co-host and yours, the Caleb G.
Hi, everybody. Howdy, cats and kittens out there in Radio Land. I am the Caleb G, and tonight I am playing Makander of Halfbay. I'm a duck. That's all you get to know. I'm a duck. I practiced.
I'm a duck.
I practiced trying to do a Donald Duck voice, and I failed miserably. So
That's never stopped me.
Not going to happen.
But not only are you a duck, you are an easily agitated and quick to anger duck, which I think is one of the coolest things about your character. You have an ability where you can make yourself get angry to give yourself a bonus.
That's just the normal part of being Caleb. So I didn't consider that an interesting thing to share.
Okay.
That's just me.
I'm
just playing myself. I just happen to be a duck. It's like autocorrect came in and said, oh, all those times I changed it to duck?
This time it sticks.
This time it's stuck, yeah.
So
You're playing a really angry duck.
A really angry duck.
The nice part of this game is that you also get little glimpses into the players.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to RPG Academy therapy session.
Now, with all of
Caleb's
these
anger issues,
sample adventures, the goal is, of course, to have fun. That's the number one goal every time. But with these sample adventures specifically, we do try to interact with the rules in a way that might help you, the watchers or listeners, get a feel for how the game works. Maybe poorly because I'm no expert at this. But I do want to mention that every character also has a flaw that has been created for you that might help guide you in some roleplay situation. Caleb, will you mention what Makander's flaw is?
Yes. Wait a second. Wrong sheet. My flaw is that I'm foolhardy and I always go first into danger.
Excellent. All right. And then join us tonight also is Big Al. Big Al, say hello to everyone. Tell us who you are and then introduce your character, please.
Hello to everyone. I'm Alan, Big Al Nicholas. I'll be playing Bastonn, Bloodjaw, a Wolfkin. And my weakness is that I'm gluttonous, and I take every chance I get to eat something tasty. And duck could be.
How do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel about duck there, Wolfie Al?
I want to know if anybody else immediately had, no one eats like Bastonn. No one gorgeous like Bastonn. Just immediately, right in their heads.
Excellent.
The whole thing.
All right. And then next on our list is Kaylee. Kaylee, so let everyone tell us who you are and which character you are playing, please.
Hello, I'm Kaylee, and I'm playing an adult elf. I don't know if adult matters. That's my age. Named Orla Moonsilver. She is a very smooth and confident elf, deadly with a bow. But she's a little bigoted when it comes to nightkin, such as orcs and goblins, because they are evil and must be eliminated. Evil.
Excellent.
Oh, and trolls that killed my sister and took her.
Are you okay with ducks?
That's a tragedy. Yes.
Ducks are fine. Okay. Ducks are fine, with or without orange sauce. It's perfectly okay.
Whoa.
All right. And then rounding out our wonderful group of players, we have Michael. Michael, say hello to everyone. Tell us who you are and introduce your character, please.
Hello, I'm Michael. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Archmaster Aodhan tonight. Archmaster Aodhan is a seasoned adventurer, and, well, let's say he's a bit, well, I'm a bit faint-hearted, yes. Stay at the back of the group. Less danger that way.
Excellent. So...
Stay a while and listen.
Stay forever.
So we are going to be playing a adventure tonight called Riddermound. It is the adventure that comes in the Quickstart guide. We are using the Quickstart rules. I have not reviewed the entire rule book, so this is a kind of a condensed version. There's probably some things that are not as fleshed out in this version, and we still may get them wrong. But Riddermound is a sort of known location. It's a place that is known to have treasure, possibly adventure. And the four of you have been adventuring together for some time, and you have all made your way to Riddermound together. But you've already had some adventures on the way here. So I just want to take a quick moment, kind of go around the table and tell me something that the entire group, or maybe if you want to say your character individually, interacted with, some sort of hazard, danger, combat scenario, something that was adventurous, possibly dangerous on your way here. There's no roles here. This is all just story time. So Big Al, start with Bastonn. What is something that has occurred to you or the group on your way here so far?
Well, just 72 hours ago, we were sitting down to a nice meal and choked on a chicken bone. And I was just eating too fast and choked on a chicken bone and almost died, which was a damn shame because, oh, sorry, that's my one for the night. It's a dang shame because it was a good chicken, very good chicken. And if I'd died, I would not have the opportunity to look for this gold-plated plate and silverware that I understand is somewhere in this vicinity. So I'm really looking forward to that, something to help me eat.
All right, fantastic. So Big Al has done the homework. He knows the assignment, so he's already added in the second part here is what is some rumor or something that has drawn you to this place. So either one who wants to include both, feel free. Caleb, tell us about Makander and something you've interacted with on the way here already.
Let's jump backwards in time prior to getting to the inn where Bastonn almost died because he wanted all the bacon and eggs they had and they were out. So he got a chicken and almost died. We were walking along the road and we were just kind of chit-chatting and carrying on and having fun and some merchants, a little wagon train of merchants happened to be going past, and one of them kind of shot Makander a dirty look, and I'm not sure if they just are prejudiced against Mallard people, or maybe they recognized the crest I wear from my family, the Baron of Halfbay, but I took offense at that look, and I flew into a Mallardy angry rage.
I gotcha.
And what would that have sounded like?
Just imagine Donald Duck, and you can hear it.
I don't want to imagine. I want to live it through you.
It's really bad. I can't.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I kind of rushed them and started to tussle. And there was a lot of them, and they were carrying like really heavy things, barrels, logs, whatnot. So they were big and burly dudes and ladies. And I didn't see anywhere in the book that was like how big Mallard people are, but I feel like they're short. I feel like they're short little ducks. So these folks were all way bigger than me, and the rest of the party had to kind of jump in and split us up and help me settle my big emotions.
All right.
I was having one of those days.
Just one of those days. Sometimes you just want to hit something, and sometimes you just want to be hit.
Yeah.
I do think that the go-to derogatory word for a mallard should be quacker.
Ooh, that's
We don't use the Q word.
We don't use the Q word. Yeah. I can call my fellow mallards.
That's your word.
That's but y'all can't. But yeah, I still want to continue this adventure. I feel that getting a symbol of royalty, of leadership from this treasure hoard, be it a crown, a stave, maybe some sort of necklace or signet ring, would really help me when I return back home with my family issues going on. There's there's a lot of back and forth of who gets the title of Baron. And even though I want to forge my own path, I do want to make sure my family knows and values me, as I can prove my worth to them. You know, they value me as a person. So I want to be able to prove that, hey, I could have been the Baron, but y'all missed out.
Fair enough. All right, so let's jump up to Orla. Kaylee, tell us a little bit about something that you've encountered on the way here, again, or the group, and then something has brought you here, some rumor or sought after treasure.
So one of the things that we had a problem with on the way here was, I mean, the road was uneventful. Let's be honest. What made it eventful was my companions. As always, chaos seems to follow us around everywhere. We had Bastonn, who choked on a chicken bone. I had to pay that little girl a gold for that chicken. I don't know how he found her pet chicken. It wasn't for sale, but all of a sudden there's feathers and a dead chicken and, you know, a choking Bastonn. So that was the whole thing. And then the Mallard decided to pick on a bunch of random dudes who were just looking at him funny. He didn't notice that he was wearing 2 different colored, like, socks. Yeah, I know, ducks with socks. It's a whole thing. That's what they were looking at.
That's part of our culture. Thank you very much.
Well, they found it off-putting. I mean, one was plaid and the other one was stripy. They did not go together. I'm sorry. But then we had to break up that fight. But I think the worst part was when we came across the caravan of Nightkin, and nobody would let me kill any of them. They tied me up to my horse and took away my bow until they were 3 miles away and in town. I'm perfectly capable of not killing people on the road where everybody can see. I would have stalked them until the night fell and then murdered them in their sleep. But no, my team doesn't believe in me. So, you know what? Whatever, that's fine. I'm here to go after the treasure because I know what is guarding that treasure. Supposedly, it's a one-fanged troll that has interacted with my family before.
Ooh.
And this time, I'm going to finish the job.
Excellent. All right, and then wrapping us up, Michael.
Yes, well, uneventful road as it was, we made our way down Elled's coast. Yes, and we were passing the emerald tidal pools. Beautiful sight, when we were set upon by a pack of ravenous gibbon hounds. They waylaid us a bit, but between Makander's temper, I tossed a bag of rations from Orla, and Bastonn's wicked howl, and perhaps a puff of smoke on my part, we were able to slip away easily. By the way, I am famished. Just I want to. We are at an inn. Yes, I will have to get something to eat. The rations were quite a loss. This place we're going. This place. I understand there is a tome. There is a tome hidden there, fabled to contain the secret incantation to locate one's soulmate.
Ooh, interesting.
Could be worth a good penny.
Yes. Trying to make a grinder or tender joke, and it just didn't come to me in time.
Magyar. It's for mages.
Yeah. But you have to be invited. All right. So with that, we were jumping to the adventure proper. So after roughly 2 days of traveling through very deep and dark forest, where there's the canopy is so thick, almost no sunlight comes through. And even though you're in the midst of deep summer, it's very cool and sort of, not breezy, but hot and humid under the shade of these trees. So about roughly 38 hours of traveling. You've camped out at least once. You come to a clearing, and you see a sort of a mound of earth above you on a little bit of a plain. So it's like a small hill. And jutting up from the top of this hill are these stone sort of columns. Think like Stonehenge, but much smaller. But from a distance, it certainly looks like maybe the crown on like a giant's head that is just beneath the surface of the ground, and the dirt has sort of fallen away a little bit. You can also see that there are 3 wolves, and these are large gray wolves that are collared, and they are tied by a length of rope, you'd guess from here, like maybe 20 feet long, has been pittened into the ground, like a big wooden stake has been pounded in the ground. And these wolves are sort of like circling back and forth in like an arc in front of this circle of stones between you and the stones. Seems pretty clear they don't have enough length of rope. If you just wanted to go like around and come in from the other side, they wouldn't be able to get to you. But it does look like maybe the length of rope would be long enough for them to get into the center of this ring of stones, which is where you were told to go to find the entrance. So I will ask you for the first time tonight. What would you like to do?
Bastonn, can you convince them to let us pass?
I don't think it works that way. These are my.
You're a wolf.
These are. Oh, okay. That's how it is. Okay.
Yeah, now you know how it feels.
Listen, Mallard, I haven't eaten yet today, and you're on the menu.
Hey, when you asked me if I could talk to those ducks that were crossing the stream the other day, now you know how it feels. I'm just saying.
Fine. No.
Bickering the bickering is entertaining as always, but it will get us nowhere.
I
got us here.
I cannot talk to them. I am sorry.
Can we see if
that's all I
they've
needed?
been like
An answer is no.
abused or mistreated in any way?
Yes,
Sorry,
you could use a spot hidden roll or a beast lore roll, or I would even go with bushcraft. Any of the 3, whichever one you feel. This is a roll under system. Everything's based off of your skills. That should be on the character sheet that you're playing. It's probably going to be a number between like 6 and 12, 6 and 15 maybe. One single D20 under that is a success. Equal to is also a success.
Bushcraft, you say?
Yes.
Other show, Michael. I would like to use my beast lore skill to check out these poor wolfies.
All right. Our first roll of the evening.
And I completely failed with a 12 over a 5.
Okay. Now, one of the things about the system is you can push. Anytime you fail a roll, you can immediately push one time. In order to do that, you have to then take a condition. There are 6 conditions. Each condition is attached to one of your skill or one of your attributes. You have to declare which attribute you are putting a condition on. Until that is healed, you will take basically disadvantage or a bane to everything you do attached to that skill, including combat. So it's your choice. Would you like to push this roll or just take the failure?
I will take the failure. From our distance that we're at right now, we can see these wolves. They're kind of pinned with their leashes, but they're kind of roaming around a little bit, maybe.
Since you've been sort of talking and interacting, not too quietly, they have noticed you. And so they're not like right together, but they've all moved down to the entire length of their rope and they're pointed at you. And they're kind of like, like snarling a little bit, but they're not like, going wild and yipping and pulling at their ropes. They're just kind of like checking you out and sort of sniffing the air a little bit. With your failure, though, these do appear to be wild wolves. They do not appear to be tamed. They don't have they're collared, but they don't appear to be domesticated. But you can't make any other determinations than that. Would someone else like to make any sort of roll to interact with these wolves?
I can try and make a bushcraft roll.
Alrighty.
So it's just a straight up D20, right? Underneath my number.
Correct.
I succeed with an 8 under a 12.
Okay. So you have seen something similar to this before. These are trained wolves. They very often they are trained by goblins to act as guard wolves as well as like beasts of burden. They were probably used to haul materials. So this very likely means that there are goblins also in the area.
Orla immediately pulls her bow off her back, draws an arrow, and is looking around, sniffing at the air. These have the stink of goblins. Keep your wits about you. It's time to slaughter some.
The wolves or the goblins?
Whatever attacks us first, but hopefully the goblins. The wolves are bestial beasts of burden that the goblins use. This is some sort of ambush, I'm sure of it.
Well, it's not the wolf's fault.
I'm not saying that, but if they attack us, we should defend ourselves. I'm saying we find the goblins that staked them here and then, shoot them, stab them, tie them to the ground in the sun, covering them with honey near the nearest fire ant hill. Those kind of things.
Listen, I don't want to waste honey like that. We need honey for the duck. I mean, for
Whoa.
further food.
Whoa. Uncalled
Sorry.
for.
To be clear, we will not be eating any of our companions in this particular time.
Well,
At this time, yes.
If goblins try to set up an ambush, then let's just go trip the ambush and start the fight. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna just grab my weapons and I'm gonna run pell-mell towards the door that we're supposed to go in.
So are you trying to go through the wolves or around where they can't reach you and into the center of the circle where you believe the entrance to the Riddermound to be?
I want to run straight at them, but then kind of dodge as they lunge at me.
Okay. So then we will go into initiative. Those of you not charging can choose not to draw initiative if you would like. It's up to you. So the way initiative works in this game is called drawing the initiative. You use a deck of cards or cards that are numbered 1 to 10. I have just regular playing cards that I will be using. We are playing digitally, but we're not using a VTT, so this is going to be very analog. We're going to do our best. So Makander, you have the 5. Orla, would you like to draw?
Yes, please.
Orla has the 3. Aodhan. How'd you say your name? Aodhan? Aodhan? Aodhan. I will screw that up every time. Would you like to draw?
Certainly.
You have the 4. And Bastonn.
I'm kind of wondering if it would be an opportunity to try that sneak attack that you dropped in the Discord.
Yep.
If everybody else is full mail, if I can kind of sneak around and maybe catch one of them unawares, I'd like to try that.
Yeah, so there is like a halfling sneaky character that has an ability tied to that, but in this game, anyone can do a sneak attack. It just requires you to attack an opponent that is unaware. And if that happens, then you get additional bonuses. They can't dodge or evade and that kind of thing. You still have to draw initiative. You have the 10.
The 10.
And then the wolves have the ace. So, okay. Well, there's only 10 of them. We've drawn 5. I guess it makes sense. So currently, the wolves are going to go first. However, in this situation, they can't really do anything until you get close enough. So as you run at them, they do get more aggressive. They start to growl and snarl, and slaughter's coming out, and they kind of get pulled back up by their necks, and they're clawing at the ground. And you do see a strain in this rope that is holding them down, as if possibly in a dramatic moment it might snap. But that moment is not now, so their turn is technically over. So that brings us to... Oh, sorry.
I was going to ask if Makander has the classic dip, duck, duck, dodge, parry maneuver.
My family knows that one, but they haven't passed it down to me.
Great uncle Daffild, correct? I believe Daffild is his name.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Jerks. It's jerks.
All right. So this brings us to Orla.
I am going to... I'm keeping watch for goblins.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait.
All right. So when you wait, you trade with someone else. You can't just say, I'm going to wait till something happens. So you can trade to the 4, to the 5, or to the 10. And then that person cannot refuse you, and then they take your spot.
I will trade it for the 5.
Okay.
So, our Mallardy friend may go.
Oh, so it's my turn now.
Yes. Yeah. So it is now your turn, Makander.
Okay, so I am rushing at the wolves. I know I know enough about combat that even though I am rushing pell-mell into battle, I'm trying to stage my rush strategically.
Okay.
So my intent here is to, while I'm running at them and kind of stirring them up, wait for that second when maybe a couple of them are like choked back by the collar, and then dodge and dip and weave between them.
No ducking.
No, I don't duck.
Are you going to dart in and maybe goose them a little?
I don't want to play this game anymore.
Theoretically, you're
I'm
playing
sorry.
chicken with them.
That was a foul joke.
Yes, very foul. All right, so Caleb, what I'm going to say here, make an awareness roll for
Kaylee,
me.
get the flock out.
I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers.
Oh my God.
Caleb, are you going to do something, or are you chicken?
It's gonna be such a long game. An awareness roll, you say, boss? All right. Well, I tanked that one.
Okay.
With a 13 over 5.
We gotta leave Caleb alone. If we henpeck him too much, he won't go.
Oh my God.
A pox upon you all. So what I was going to say is that with a successful awareness roll, you would be able to gauge their distance enough so that you could get right to them where they couldn't reach you and attack them. But you have misjudged that. You still get to attack. They do not have a turn anymore this round, but they will then be able to attack on the next turn if they get initiative before you. But you can take an attack at one of them now if you'd like.
I don't specifically want to attack them.
Okay.
I just want to move past them.
Okay, then you can absolutely do that without a problem. But you still misjudged it enough that because it's going to take you at least one more turn to get into the circle, there's a chance one of them might get to attack you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm rushing towards these goblins that I believe are waiting in ambush.
Okay.
Well, who cares about wolves? Wolves are just mangy, smelly dudes.
All right, so that brings us to
Time's coming,
Aodhan.
Doug. Your time is
Aodhan, huh?
coming.
Oh, I'm still
Actually, it would be Aodhan is next.
Aodhan. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat because I got pinged. Hello,
Hey.
Nathan. Good to see you, Fat. Good to
Nathan's
see you,
here.
friend.
Rook
It
and
is a
Rasp
cool
is-
game.
Jump in.
We have Rook and Rasp. We have Dot. There's a lot of
Dot!
a lot of faces in the
Lots of
chat
faces.
tonight. Lots of faces. Aodhan. Let's see. Aodhan is going to stand back because he does not run into any danger. You don't get a beard this long by running in face first into danger. And I think Aodhan's going to spend a bit of willpower to cast a spell.
All right. So again, interacting with the mechanics, willpower is a resource pool that all characters have to activate special abilities. Magicians specifically use willpower to power their spell usage.
I start with 18, so that'll drop that down to 17 willpower.
Okie
And let's see, which spell?
So we only have a
I
limited
thought you were a
selection
mage, not a witch.
in the quick starter or the quick start. You have a couple of cantrips and I think 3 actual spells that you can use.
That is correct. We'll use we're going to use Gust of Wind to try and push the dogs to the side to give us a pathway.
Ooh, okay.
And then let's see, there's a little word and gesture requirement. It's a rank in my rank in elementalism is what I have to roll against. And that is a 14. So I have to roll under 14. Let's see how we do. 3. That should be a success. That'll cost me. So that's 1 willpower. The spell goes off. Aodhan grabs a little handful of dust out of a pouch and splays his hand forward, not his beard, thank you. Splays his hand forward and blows the dust out of his hand and says, "Poof."
Ah, yes, the arcane word, poof.
There's 3 Ys, a Q.
Orla, you cast your spells your way. I will cast them mine. Thank you very much.
Excellent. So I will arbitrarily adjudicate that to say that 2 of the 3 wolves are completely tussled over. They go rolling and bounding and actually get slightly tangled up in the rope that they were being held with, but 1 is still loose that might be able to act.
Yep. Untethered objects and creatures are pushed up to 2d4 meters away. So they are tethered. So I would just say it would probably just push them the opposite direction of their tether.
Okay. So are you wanting to push them like back towards the circle, or like in my head, you're running straight at them like to the right away from you so that you have a clearer avenue?
Yes, as far, again, trying to push them away from the path Makander is taking.
Okay. Yep. So I will say 2 of them are completely, basically, unless you choose to let them interact with you, they're out. For dramatic purposes, I'm going to leave 1 free that might be able to do something.
All right.
All right, Orla, that brings us to you. So realistically, you only have 1 target unless you want to shoot one of the ones that's prone, which actually gives you, I think, a bonus.
How tall are the stones of the circle?
They're at varying heights, but I would say the lowest is about 4 feet. The tallest is about 8.
I'm going to attempt to climb atop one of the 8-footers to get a better vantage.
Sure. That would probably
Acrobatics,
be
perhaps?
acrobatics.
Good, I have that. That's a nat 1.
That is a dragon, the critical success, which in combat does additional things, including damage. Outside of combat, it can do additional things like very impressive, takes less time than would be expected, or impresses everyone who sees it. And I think you do this in the most impressive way possible. So what does it look like? How do you make this happen in your head here?
So Orla looks over at the mage who's standing in the rear with her, and she gives him, the adventurer nod, just kind of the good spell. Was cool. Then she
10 out of 10. No notes.
As she starts to move, the bow comes over her shoulder, arrow back in the quiver, and she's running full tilt towards the largest stone. And just before she runs face first into it, she takes a small step, and you watch her basically Spider-Man her way up to the top. And as she gets to the top edge of it, she grabs the edge with her hands, pulls really hard, and does a backflip up over and lands in the superhero pose at the top. Her bow comes back out, and she's in the arrow, and she starts tracking for goblins.
Fantastic. That looked amazing. But you do not see any goblins.
This is vexing. Where are they?
So I will let you take a shot at the wolf if you choose. Otherwise, you can just hold on. Okay, perfect.
Not unless it tries to eat our duck.
Excellent. All right, Bastonn, you're the only one left to go this round.
Orla, quit showboating to impress the wolves. They don't care.
Not showboating to get the wolves, old man. I'm trying to get to high ground so I can see things better. Plus, now you look more tasty to the wolves than I do.
Let's talk more action. All right, so I'm going to, I'm assuming in my head, the one wolf that's remaining is all eyes on the duck.
Oh, yeah.
Because the duck, okay. So yeah, I'm going to try and do a sneak attack on it.
All right, so you have to make a sneak check. So again, most of the way this works, there's not always opposed rolls. It's more like if you were successful against your thing, it works. I do not remember 100% if that's how sneak attack works, but we're going to go with that. So you need to make a sneak check.
All right. And that is a success, a 5 against a 12.
All right. One second here. All right. So now you can attack, which is considered a surprising attack, which you can choose any initiative card you want. Doesn't matter because you're going last in the round. The creature can neither attack parry or evade or dodge. So basically, if you hit it, you hit it. It doesn't get a chance to do any defensive. If you're using a subtle weapon, then you do increased damage. I do not think you have a subtle weapon. It'll say subtle in the description.
And I do get a boon on the attack, though.
All right.
Correct.
Yeah, so you roll 2d20s, take the better result. Again, you're wanting low, so you don't go under your weapon skill for the weapon that you're using.
Gotcha. All right. All right, we succeeded both ways, so we're good. 6 under 14.
All right. So
Both ways, country and western.
so we have both kinds of music here. All right. So then you're going to do your damage. You should have damage for your weapon. You also should have bonus damage based off of your either agility or strength, depending on what type of weapon you're using. It should be a die type.
That is so cool. I was wondering what that was.
So you probably have like
Makes sense.
D8 damage plus a D6 or something along those lines.
Yeah, it says like BON period, and so I was like, "What's Bon?"
Yeah, bonus.
Candy. Usually have 2 of them. They're bonbons.
All right, 6 damage.
6 damage. All right. So as you stab with, is it a sword or a dagger?
It is a short spear. I did not have because the dang duck so quick didn't give me time to get my long spear out, so I had to go with the short spear. So that's what it is. It's a short spear.
All right. So yeah, so you were able to sneak up behind this wolf that's very focused on Makander and, spear thrust right into its side. It yelps and cries out in pain, and it turns and tries to bite at the weapon sort of still sticking in it. Does not kill it, however, which means we will have to do at least one more round of initiative. Once again, at this point, only those who wish to interact with it have to. So, Makander, would you like to draw initiative, or do you just want to run into the circle?
I still want to keep running towards the circle, but I want the option of dodging if I have to,
Perfect.
or if I need to. So can I still draw initiative for that?
Yes, you have a 5. Orla,
Yes, please.
you have the 10. Aodhan,
I'm good.
all right. Bastonn,
Well, I'm already knee deep in this.
you have the ace. The wolves have a 7.
Ooh.
So, Bastonn, you can go again.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going again.
All right. This is just a regular attack. You no longer have that sneak attack bonus. It's a single D20 wanting under.
Oh, and I did not succeed.
Okay. Would you like to push that roll?
I would like to push
All
that
right.
roll.
So you have to go ahead and roll whatever the new result is you take, even if it's worse.
It is better. I've won. I did succeed on the new roll.
All right. Go
And
ahead.
I'm now exhausted because I pushed my strength. To do
Okay.
it.
So you push your ring. So that means until you basically clear that condition, you will take a bane on everything you do with strength, including weapon attacks that are melee based.
It's got to be fair. I mean, that's what I'm using my strength right now. So that's the way I
I'm with
look
you.
at it.
All right. So roll your damage.
Five damage.
5. What does it look like as you put this beast down?
So first I pull out the spear where it was stuck in the side, and I do this and I'm still moving, right? So it's like this Jedi deal where I like spin it around so it's backwards and then slab it into the other side and then pull it out, and then I just kind of keep on trucking.
All right. Well, with a final yelp, it cries and then falls over unmoving. The other 2 are still tangled up in their tether. And again, unless you just choose to interact with them, they're going to be basically out of action. You can the rest of you can make your way into the circle. The first thing you're going to notice that as you actually cross the circle, that all of the vegetation, which is just like short grass and some weeds, are brown and brittle. And there's about a 30 degrees difference in temperature. As soon as you cross the threshold of that circle, it is much colder here.
Mm.
In pretty much the center of this ring of stones, there is a slab stone that's like 2 by 2 that has been dug up. You can actually see there's like wheelbarrows, a small cart that has been pulled in, and some shovels. So you would assume the goblins have already dug up this slab and then had used ropes and levers and crowbars and had basically opened up this tomb. So that slab is sort of slightly askew, and then you can see a hole going into the earth below.
Ah, wonderful. Nothing bad ever happened from unearthing an ancient tomb as such.
So
Orla slides down from her perch and shakes her head. At least they did the dirty work and the heavy lifting.
So do you think the goblins are down there?
I certainly hope so.
Let's go.
Well,
hold on.
Orla, go to the tomb and sniff. You'd be able to smell them. Yes.
Can you give me like 5? Just give me a minute to catch my breath, because I really don't want to go into this thing exhausted. All I need is a little stretch break.
So yeah, so time in this game works on rounds, stretches, and shifts. A round is like combat, 10 seconds roughly. A stretch is roughly 15 minutes, and you can do things like clear a condition on a stretch rest. So you've got essentially 15 minutes to play with. Bastonn's the only one who needs to clear a condition, so the other of you can kind of do anything else you want to do as far as look around further. The wolves will eventually get themselves untangled, but it is very notable, they will not enter the circle. So even though they are like growling and snarling at you, they will come to the edge of the stone, but they will not voluntarily cross in there. So you are safe from them until you leave.
I will go take a whiff of the entrance.
All right. So sniffing at the entrance.
What skill is sniffing at the entrance?
It is a box text.
I think it's bushcraft.
Oh! But there is a musty smell of stale air and dried up corpses that emanates from the depth.
Never enter something that smells like musty air and dried up corpses.
You think it smells bad on the outside. Also, there is definitely some smell of goblin as well inside there. More fresh than the stale dead corpse air.
There's definitely nightkin down there. And it smells like mage also.
Oh, that was me. It was the inn food is treating me poorly a bit.
Yes, corpses and smoke.
I cleaned off my short spear and I put my short spear up, and I've gotten my long spear out since we're about to go down into this bad boy.
Are you feeling better yet? Come on.
Yeah.
You done?
No
you done?
thanks to you. The only reason I was tired in the first place is because of you.
You pulled a muscle trying to wrestle a dog.
Yeah, I was fine. I didn't need your help. You were the one decided to do that. I ran past him. I was good to go.
Let's not. And look, I'm like have my little two-handed spear, and it's getting closer and closer to lowering towards you.
Hey,
all right,
hey,
yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.
Right now, you and me, we don't have to fight these goblins.
I do
not into the hole, you dumb
Look,
duck.
I will pull this party over, and we will stop here. No more bickering. I don't want to have to separate you two.
I'm just trying to fight some goblins.
You have to
Let's go.
separate nobody. Let's go. Let's do it.
All
We're
right.
ready.
So it appears
I'm just pleased that Bastonn didn't eat the wolf.
I didn't have time. I thought about it.
There's a length of rope tied to this slab, which is very, very heavy, and that's probably how the goblins climb down into the hole. I believe some of you have some equipment. I'm assuming at least one of you has a torch or can otherwise see, but I will assume that one of you lights a torch, looks down, and the rope tied to the slab extends further than you can see into the darkness. And there's definitely an echoey sound as if this is some sort of large opening. And whoever is sticking their head in the hole, make me a spot hidden check.
Oh, I'm so bad at that. This is great. Fail!
You stick your head right into a gelatinous cube.
13 over 5.
So let me double check, because normally I would say this is a perception check, but not necessarily related to sight. But I don't see anything that would use that. I think spot hidden's the closest I can get. So I'm just going to say you don't see anything.
Oh,
You put your head in the wrong hole.
So I stuck my head in the hole. I didn't see anything. I looked for like a second. I'm like, nope, looks fine. And I'm just jumping down the rope. I'm climbing down the rope.
Alrighty. So you need to make an acrobatics roll. You get to use a boon if you use the rope.
Oh, cool.
I suggest you use the rope.
I said I was using the rope. I am using the rope. And I fail both times. I fall.
Okay, so you can push the roll if you would like.
Nope, I want to fall. I think it's
Okay.
better. God, I'm
Perfect.
the worst at this game.
Alrighty.
Well, you are a novice at Dragonbane.
Yeah, you just rolled too well. Your D20s are just all trained for high rolls. All right, so I got to go to the falling rules.
God.
Falling on a hard surface inflicts a number of d6s of bludgeoning damage equal
Oh,
to
no.
half the height of the fall.
Oh no!
Oh God,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's
gonna need a new duck.
no. It's only 2d6.
Like to call that dinner.
You are not allowed to eat me when I die. That has been
So wait,
established in this group.
So are we going to just assume that you've been, once you hit the ground, you've been spatchcocked?
Tenderized even. So that is only going to be 3 points of damage. Armor does not
Ow.
protect you against falling damage. However, as you fall, so I'm going to ask: do you have the torch like in your teeth, or your bill, or did you like toss it down and then climb down towards it?
I tossed it down. Like,
Okay.
I stuck my head down through the torch and said, "Nope, looks fine," before it even hit the ground.
Perfect.
And then slipped down the rope.
All right. So what you failed to see earlier is that there is a cauldron of vampiric bats that have made a home in this cavern. And when you fell, you caused so much noise that you've activated them. So we get our first combat with the monsters in here. So basically so the wolves are different because the wolves are considered animals. They're not considered monsters. Monsters have a little slightly different rules to them. If anybody's played Forbidden Lands, it works that same way. I'm not familiar with all the Free League stuff, but basically I roll a d6 on each of the monsters' turn and it will determine what it does. It has varying different attacks of how it's going to interact, but this is
that's
still
cool.
going to be initiative. But the other three of you are still up top. So if you would like to enter in the combat, you're going to have to get into the chamber before you can do that. All right. So Makander, I assume you want to grab initiative
Yep.
here?
Yes, please.
All right. You got a 6. Orla.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb down the rope. Toss me in a niche.
4. Aodhan.
Sure.
9. Bastonn.
I heard the duck fall, and I want to make sure I either have dinner or I've helped him out. One of the two.
You have a 3. Another thing about monsters in this game is they have a ferocity level, and that is how many times they go each round. The bats have a ferocity of 2, so they get 2 initiative cards. So they have the 7 and the 8. So they get to activate twice, but 3 is actually first. So Bastonn, you were the first to go in initiative.
So I mean, I clearly see these bats, right?
Well, you can hear them. And I guess you probably, they're starting to swirl around, think like Morbius, when he's in there. So they're all swirling around. So more than anything, you're probably seeing, don't think of that movie. It's Morbid time. You can see like the light as it's flickering as the bats are swirling in front of it. But they're swarming around. They act as a swarm, which means you attack them, but you're not actually attacking an individual bat. You're attacking the swarm.
I feel like after I hit the ground and my bells got rung because I'm in armor. I'm coming to my feet and I'm like, oh my God, these bats made me fall.
And you're angry about it.
What we
These
don't know
stupid
though
bats!
is this is Makender's origin story, and he will become the knight. He will be Bat Duck.
Darkwing, perhaps?
Darkwing, yeah, Darkwing.
Yes.
Total aside, but related, if you get the actual book, which I highly recommend because it's fantastic, the cover of the book is essentially high fantasy Darkwing Duck, and it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to attack the swarm of bats.
All right. So are you going to do something ranged or are you going to jump into the hole? Because
I'm
they're
jumping in the hole.
they're
man.
lower than you. Okay.
Do this.
All right. So you need to make an acrobatics roll.
Got it.
Caleb, we have a question from the chat. Rook and Rasp is asking if the Darkwing Duck character from the book cover is a playable character in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
yeah.
Makander is like a fighter duck, but a rogue duck would almost
Would be that
certainly be
character.
that character.
I
have succeeded.
All right. So you are going to take 2 points of damage from the leap down, but you are able to act. So
I
as you
twisted
jump down,
my,
you're now next to Makander as these vampiric bats are swirling around you in a vortex.
Yeah. So I've twisted my ankle a little bit, but I'm okay. I've got my two-handed spear and I'm like swinging it around now, kind of like like a lance maybe, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm swinging it around at the bats.
Okay. So bats do not have armor.
So I just have to succeed.
You just have to succeed on your attack.
And I did succeed on my attack.
All right, and then roll your damage.
And that is 11 points damage.
Okay, that is a significant hit, but it does not take the vampiric bats out.
Do you
But
have a bunch of them skewered on your spear like a
Oh,
kebab?
shit.
Yes, I like that. I like that imagery.
Oh.
I was picturing you were
spinning.
spinning it, just like doing like figure eights with it, just smashing them out of the out of the
Ooh.
air.
That's good.
Also, that looked good too. And then, you know, obviously throwing some stabs in there too.
Stab, stab.
I do like the idea of him of Bastonn literally building like a little shish kebab of bats, like just like thunk, thunk,
Well,
thunk,
so we
thunk,
can
thunk.
eat them
I'm gonna
later,
eat
of
'em.
course.
I'm going to eat them afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I unfortunately dropped the cards, but I believe I have them back in the correct order, which means that Orla would be next with a 4.
That sounds correct. I am going to head on down the down the hole.
Okay.
So acrobatics.
Orla, go down the
That is a
hole.
4 out of 14.
All right. So if you're just climbing down the rope, you can make it to the bottom. You will take no damage, but you will not be able to attack this round. If you do like Bastonn, where you just jump in, you will take half damage from the successful roll, but you will be able to attack this turn.
No, I'm fine with sliding down the rope.
Okay. So yeah, so you quick
Quick-
repel.
Is there anything? Well, here's a quick question. Could I do that cool, like, slide down the rope, holding it with my legs and firing my bow as I drop?
Yes, but I'll give you a bane on your attack.
I'll do that. I like that. And if you want, I'll even take fall damage if you want. So,
Ah.
okay. So that I rolled a 3 and a 12, so that means I have to take 12.
Yes.
My bows, though, is a 14.
That is a hit.
Okay, hang on. I have to find Michael's favorite die.
The D12.
The D12.
D12.
Garbage die.
This is this is an inaugural roll for this D12. It's never been rolled before.
12,
So.
12, 12.
Now, do I get damage bonus agility with this too? So
Yeah.
I need a D6.
So it has a D rating for each of your bonuses, not a set number.
Whew. Okay, I love these dice. They both rolled 1 off of max. That's 16 damage.
Okay.
Is that your?
So yeah, so easily you have defeated the swarm of bats. Like you almost doubled what you needed to get. So clearly you're not going to kill all of them, but yeah, you skewered like 4 all with 1 arrow, and the rest have sort of sought shelter back at the top of roosting them on this dome-like or space that you're in. So the vampire bats are no longer a threat.
Or like
I was gonna do that.
You don't have a bow. How would you do that? You don't have a lance. How would you do that? Orla picks up the arrow and like holds it up to Bastonn, just kind of like over her shoulder so he can take the bats off.
Well done. My favorite kind of combats are the ones where I don't have to lift a finger.
There's something really, really screwy about this guy.
All right.
Why
So
are you talking about me like that? What's wrong? What?
Aodhan, you're the only one that's not in the hole yet. So would you like to join the party?
Aodhan is going to spend a willpower to create a pillar.
Ah, okay.
So from the ground, where like from the middle of everyone, a little pillar like starts to form in the ground, and it shoots upward like just almost to the hole, and then he just steps off onto the pillar, and the pillar sinks down into the ground.
If
You made an elevator.
if you extended it a little more, you could say that just the tip crossed the threshold before you lower yourself down.
We're really pushing that PG-13 on me.
Michael, he didn't want to get the tip out of the hole.
Okay.
He wanted to leave as much of the shaft into the hole as possible, for
These are Chaos Inc. shenanigans. This is not RPG
So-
Academy
three of
shenanigans.
So
us
basically-
here. I mean,
I view this as like earth bending from Avatar. That's like the rock pillar comes up, you get on it, and it goes back down. It does make a lot of noise, however. That is one of the downfalls of that one. So this is definitely going to reverberate throughout this entire chamber. If you had not already activated and defeated the
certainly.
bats, you would have. But it is very cool looking.
And as the pillar sinks, like Aodhan's got like one hand like under his arm. He's just kind of twirling his beard in his fingers.
I think the most important question is, I'm sure that your robes flutter. Are you going commando under there?
A gentleman doesn't
But we would
fluff
see
and tell.
Those of us who are looking would know.
Yeah. Only your tailor
And the
knows for
carpet
sure.
does indeed match the drapes.
It's just as long as his beard.
Oh.
Okay.
This
So
podcast not brought to you by.
you are in the antechamber of the
Wait,
Riddermound.
What
This
about
is
the uncle chamber?
it is a large domed structure that appears to be partially carved as well as like built out of a natural cavern that had been carved to make it the size and shape they wanted. It is about, they use meters in the game. I think each meter is roughly 3 feet. I'm a stupid American, so I almost say feet. It's roughly 60 feet across in both ways. So it's like, basically it's a dome. There's the light above you shining down. I don't want to use the word shaft, but I'm going to a shaft of light coming through. You can see 2 goblin bodies that are in this antechamber that are not moving. In front of you, there are 2 statues of knights dressed as soldiers with weapons, and they have they're stone statues, but they have actual weapons. They have spears, and they are flanking either side of a double oaken door that has already been opened, and that is where the goblin bodies are at the foot of that just slightly opened door.
Does anybody have a knife?
Is there blood on the weapons? And I do, yes.
borrow it?
Spot hidden.
While they're looking at things, I'm going to rush up to the door and kind of stand at the threshold, weapons ready, looking into that next hallway.
Okay. I will say that the temperature here is even colder than it was above, and it's actually your breath is starting to frost down here. So as you're talking and even it's starting to frost a little bit. The statues do not activate and stab you as you run up. Orla, what did you get on your spot hidden?
I thought I saw something. Then there was the flapping of webbed feet, and somebody got their tail in my way. I got a 13/6.
Okay.
And I just like.
So it's too dark to say for
Makander,
sure.
I was attempting to look for traps or the occasional goblin blood on the swords, and now you've trampled any trace of anything.
I was looking for a goblin who might try to stab you in the face, so he wouldn't stab you in the face. You're welcome.
No goblin would ever dare stab me in the face. I would kill him first. I want a new duck, one that does what he should.
I do
do
exactly
too.
what ducks
Let me-
should.
Let me borrow your
Pointy
knife.
ears.
We'll take care of this real quick. No, not the duck, but let me borrow your knife anyway.
All right. So Makander.
One that doesn't make you feel too bad, but one that also doesn't make you feel too good.
So I'm going to walk up to
Exactly,
the,
my friend. Exactly.
goblins.
That is why you are the wise.
and I pull the.
Hold on.
the
Sorry.
jerkins, apart
Sorry.
so they- in the back of
Makander,
their-
you're at the door. Orla, you were looking, but your vision was blurred by the duck flying in front of you. Bastonn, what were you doing there?
I'm going up to the dead goblins, and I like roll them over so that they're face down, and I pull up their shirt area,
Mhm.
and I get the knife and I cut these little fillets
Well-
out of their back, and I turn around and I say, "This is the sweet meat."
Well, hold on. Point of order. They are actually face down already. So
excellent.
they are face down when you approach them. Their bodies are extremely cold. They almost have like a sheen of frost on them.
But are they frozen?
No.
Okay, then we still get the sweet meat.
Yes. All right. Aodhan.
Knife returned.
I don't think he heard you.
Aodhan?
Michael.
Am I muted or did
No. Michael.
No?
Other Michael. He's deep in wizardly thought.
would you like to do something?
Aodhan is watching Bastonn butcher goblin and taking notes in a worn journal.
Excellent. Just for the sake of the pros of it, I will say at some point as you're mutilating these bodies, one of them turns slightly or you move it slightly and you can see its face. Its face is frozen in a grimace and its eyeballs are missing and there's like smoke sort of billowing out the eye sockets.
Well, that's not good. Hey, Makander, look at this.
What?
No, say that again.
What?
One more time.
I don't No. What?
That was really good.
Damn it.
You crack me up, my friend.
We do what we have to.
These puns are getting a bit long in the beak, yes?
This is offensive to my species.
Well, if there's some sort of fee to be paid, just put it on my bill.
I want to walk across the room to you and kick you in the shins.
I think it's more of a waddle, actually.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Okay, Makander, you were at the door looking through.
Yes, I am.
And on the other side, so there is an area of about roughly 30 feet in front of you. That's the same width as the door. About 10 feet past the door, you can see tunnels that open to either side. So basically you can't see them, but you could go right, you could go left. Directly in front of you, there is a much smaller version of the antechamber you're in. It's like maybe 15 feet across. And there are 2 more stone statues, just like the ones that you see in front of you. They are in the same position. They seem to be holding actual weapons. Beyond them, there's a portcullis. There's like 4 or 5 metal bars that basically are stabbed into the ground. And then beyond that, you can see a larger room, and there is a woman in a chair sitting at a table. It appears to be mummified, like she doesn't seem to be alive, but there's an actual body there. You can see this because there is light inside this chamber. Several places you can see torches that are emanating light, but they do not appear to be emanating heat. So there, you basically can see throughout this entire adventure, there's torches just everywhere, but they're magical torches, light, no heat.
So there's light in this small chamber, and I can see through it, through an iron door, into another room where a mummy lady is
sitting at a table, or basically, sitting in a chair at a table. Yes, that is what you can see.
Did I stumble across any kind of lore or stories maybe I heard as we were traveling that may have told me anything about this that would like strike a chord as I'm seeing this mummy lady?
I'm going to say no, but if you would like to make a
maybe myth and legends check?
Yes.
I can't wait to fail this. Oh my God, I made it. 6 under 10.
All right. So you have heard tales of essentially ghosts, spirits, of those that have been left, that have survived beyond their mortal bodies, that have had abilities that you appear to see, like the coldness in the air, the death of these goblins without invisible wounds, their face in like a rictus grin with their eyeballs basically melted away. That is classic Tobin's spirit guide. You're dealing with the specter.
Okay, so I see this. I pause for a second.
Do you have a plan? Is it?
It's bad. I'm gonna turn to the group and real loud, "Hey, I think that's a ghost. Look, it's a ghosty thing."
I'm totally looking.
As if on cue, you hear the sounds of moans and chains clanking further off in the distance, out of eyesight.
Are you sure it's a ghost and not just people enjoying themselves?
I didn't think it was that kind of dungeon.
Maybe it's Mandalorians getting busy. Clank,
Bumping
clank,
Beskar,
clank.
as it were.
Bumping Beskar. I like
You
that.
okay, Caleb?
No, I'm not prepared. I didn't prep a type 5 for this game. I didn't know we needed stand-up material.
Are you new here?
I've been away for so long. I just forgot
I
everything.
missed you. You know I love you, right?
I do love you. Love you too. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's let Caleb focus on his duck. We shouldn't egg him on.
Stop! I could barely hold it together.
I'm looking over the character sheets here, and I gotta say, you gotta love a game that has not only bushcraft but seamanship.
Damn it, Michael! I was saving that joke for later. That is a skill only the male characters possess, but you know.
I mean, you gotta. No. No, I'm just standing at the door and I see the big spooky mummy thing and I shouted, "Look, it's a ghost."
Again,
And then I'll say, and there's 2 other hallways, but there's definitely a ghost down there.
again, you hear the moaning and the clanking of chains, or it could be armor. Not to get too far away from the Beskar, but it does sound like maybe someone in armor walking. That could be the clank as well.
Aodhan, if you look at the goblins, do you know of anything that can like pluck your eyes out or incinerate them without leaving, heat damage to the rest of the corpse?
No.
Well, there's that rapier wit we've been counting on. Thank you for doing the research.
I'm sorry.
Isn't this your job?
No, the clanking of the chains has me distracted. It reminds me of an old traveling partner I had named Marley.
I knew someone named Marley. Was it a different Marley?
Joe's Bob.
Marley and Mallard?
I knew a Marley Mallard.
I've paid quite a lot to see Molly Mallard in concert. Wonderful bard.
Nothing. Again, Orla, I'm sorry. I'm a bit distracted. I can't think of anything that would be useful.
If you would like to make a Myth
my
and Legends
craft.
roll, I would let you see if you knew the same thing Makander did.
All right. Then.
If you'd like to give yourself voluntarily a bane since you're playing as though you're distracted, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
I would. I think I would give myself a bane for that. I'll take a condition. A condition while I take. Where'd they go?
They're at the top of your sheet under your stats.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. I will take dazed. Again, the chains have him a little distracted.
Excellent.
Good memories or bad memories?
First one, then
Not great memories.
Hmm.
And I rolled under on. I rolled a tie actually.
Ties count. It's equal to.
Tie
or
goes
less
to the
than.
player.
Yes.
All right.
So
So
you
yes,
would,
I did roll a tie for my Myths and Legends.
So you would know the same thing Makander did, that there are certain spirits that have stayed behind after the mortal body has passed, and sometimes those spirits can raise as specters, ghosts, poltergeists that go by different names. And generally the more powerful, like it's not just like everyday ghosts, but the more powerful specters can kill by a look. And that is generally what you would see on the victims, is the rictus face and then the eyeballs essentially melted out of their body.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Bastonn, the goblin that you cut the cheek meat off of.
Yes, the sweet meat.
Yes. Yes. The whatever you call it.
Don't knock it till you try it. It's good.
No. I may, if I get peckish. Anyway, that particular goblin was missing some eyes, and there was a bit of smoke. Yes, a bit of a mist coming from the sockets.
Yes.
Could have been caused by a specter.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Since there's a
Really?
ghost
You're
up there.
Just going to buy that? Ghosts are incorporeal. Like, how could they burn your eyeballs off?
Well, when we encounter this one that appears to be approaching, feel free to look it directly in the eye.
I did say there was a ghost. Did you not hear me say there was a ghost?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you.
Look, there's a ghost.
Oh my, there's a ghost.
That's
know.
so rude. I said there was a ghost. Do you not believe me because I don't have fur? Is this like a fur and feather thing?
No.
Now,
Wait.
now, Makander, don't get all ruffled about it.
Hey, everyone, keep it down.
Rude. So what are we going to do with this ghost?
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
I, however, am.
So, point of order. Actually, Aodhan would also know that specters are immune to most damage that you would typically deal in combat, other than natural fire or magic of any type. So even if you like magicked a rock and threw it at something, that would count as magic attack against a specter or spirit.
So, for those of you with regular arms, for example, weapons.
We got wings.
I have 2 arms.
Haha, yes, you have jokes. If you simply light your torches, that might be the best weapon you could use against this spirit. The spears and the swords and
So
the blades
light?
and the bows. No, fire. Natural, burning wood fire.
But just a regular fire hurts a ghost?
In Dragonbane.
Well, you can believe me or not. Again, I may
thought
be the
ghosts
most
were spooky
studied
and
of the
scary,
group.
but I just can take a little candle and be like, hey, ghost, go away. This is dumb. Let's go. I'm going to fight this ghost right now.
We could just close the door.
There's no... But there's hallways.
Or
I
we
want
go
to
the
fight
other
a ghost
way.
with the candle. I'm going to go fight this ghost with this candle and suck it, ghost.
Pardon me, I seem to have dropped something.
So we're all just still standing here at this doorway, right?
Yes.
I'm putting my long spear up, but I'm getting my short spear out and my torch, and my torch is lit, and on my short spear I'm putting some of the vampire bats that were on my long spear, so I'm making a kebab because I figure, hey, we might want to, and the sweet meat's also on the short spear right now, and so the torch, short spear, like just is like fast food, you know what I'm saying? So anybody want anything to eat? I got the meats.
Okay.
I'm good on I'm well. I'm still dealing with, again, I've got a bit of turmoil from the inn food. The stew was a bit greasy.
It was the turmeric, I believe. The turmeric irritated your tummy.
Is Bastonn your middle name? Your first name is like Reginald or something?
Yeah, he goes by Arby.
Arby, yeah.
Arby.
No one eats like Bastonn. No one greets like Bastonn. No one peddles all kinds of meats like Bastonn.
So I want to go up to that portcullis I saw.
Okay, so hold on. So as you cross through the tunnels, basically these appear to be worked stone mixed with a natural cavern as well that have been essentially carved out. They are very well made. They extend in either direction 50, 60 feet, just at the edge of what you could see. There are, again, multiple torches down there, and both of them turn at hard L shapes going forward in the same direction as that next little antechamber that you would be stepping into. Once you step into that smaller antechamber, again, you are flanked on 2 sides by the same stone statues holding actual spears. And there's like a portcullis that separates that area from the room with the mummified woman. She is sitting at a table. From here, you can see that she is dead. She is a body, but she is seated in a way as if she's looking over a book. So there's this tome that is opened, and just off from the tome is a warhammer. And that warhammer appears to be in amazing condition compared to everything else that you see down here.
So she's looking at the weapon? Or
So she's looking, it looks as if she's posed in a way that she's looking at the book, but just out of reach is a warhammer.
Gotcha.
Okay. And you can see on the page of this book a stylized dragon on one page and a crown on the other. And that triggers a memory, something that someone had told you many years and years before about Riddermound, that the Misty Vale, which is where this adventure takes place, used to be ruled by a dragon riding kingdom. So there were knights that rode dragons as mounts. And this is very likely attached to that ancient empire.
So as I waddle decidedly across the hallway towards this door, I see what you described like out of my peripheral vision, but I don't really care.
Okay.
I get up to the door. I see the thing. I say, oh, probably a dragon. I don't care. I kick the door. Hey, ghost, what's up? You want to fight?
All right. So as you get closer to this doorway, the temperature continues to drop. It's now even colder than it was before, and there's a light sort of frost on these bars. And again, it's not a door. It's like little bars that go from ceiling to floor, ceiling to floor. They are too close together for you to go through without damaging them. You can kick them, but there's no reaction to, like on the other side. Like obviously you stir dirt and debris and maybe kick off some of the ice off the bars, but there's no visible reaction.
I do that thing with my shield that they do in the old timey cowboy movies with the tin mug on the bars.
Wow.
Clink, clink. Ghosty, Ghosty,
right.
I want to fight.
High
If the
or
ghost-
low?
Low.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't do anything, I turn around to the group. This is a dumb ghost. He's not fighting me, or she's not fighting me. This is a stupid ghost.
So you turn away and you're complaining to your friends that this is a dumb ghost, that she won't fight you. And then in very classic movie fashion, something manifests just behind you that they all can see, but you cannot. And
This ghost is so stupid.
what manifests behind you is not the lady or the ghost of the lady that you can tell, but from the ground emerges this spectral visage of a roughly 7 foot tall humanoid wearing dragon-styled armor with a giant double-winged helm with a spectral face and is carrying, it looks like,
A fork to eat duck.
it doesn't say what weapon, so I'm going to say a giant sword. So we're going to roll initiative.
Yay!
Orla
Or we're gonna-
points at him and goes, "Duck!
Yeah, I know what I am.
No, behind you! Duck!"
There's another
Sword!
duck in here?
All right, Makander, I'm assuming everybody wants to draw for initiative, so
Yes,
tell me
please.
otherwise. Okay, Makander, you have a 10.
Of course I do.
Orla, you have a 2. Aodhan, you have a 9. Bastonn, you have a 3. The Dragon Knight has a 7 and a 6. So technically, Orla is first to go.
Since Makander is being rather obstinate and not paying attention to my timely warnings, I'm going to lunge forward with my lit torch and try and bash this thing in the face.
Okay. So I'm going to say
So
that.
this be a hammer or a spear or
I feel like from my perspective, like I'm yelling back at all of you. It's that moment where like the camera sees all of you with the big eyes like looking behind me. And then it follows Orla like running towards me with a lit spear. It's like you're gonna attack me or something, because I still don't know that there's
Yeah.
a ghost
and the lit
behind
torch
me.
is going to go right over your beak.
Yes, because I'm so short.
So again, that classic action movie thing where you think she's stabbing you with the
Yes.
torch, but then it just goes over your shoulder. I can't see in the quick start where it says damage that fire does, which is weird because it's very clear that one of the ways that you can hurt these things is with fire, but I don't see that in the rules. So I'm going to say it does a D6 damage, but there's no extra damage for like your strength because it's the fire that's hurting. It's not anything to do with your slapping it in the face with it, because it does take full damage from fire.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to hit it. Which skill do you think works for here?
I mean, I guess it's technically would be like using a spear, a sword, like you're using the same stabbing motion you would. Yeah.
Because it's. Oh, so because Makander is being like freaking out and like just like his entire emotional meltdown is happening and he's quacking up right in front of my eyes. I just barely miss this thing and the torch like bangs onto the portcullis. I missed by 13 over 12.
And it also almost feels like this creature's body sort of shifts sideways, like sort of like fogs at the edges. And you've already seen it rise out of the ground, so clearly it has spectral abilities. It can become incorporeal, but there's also a presence to it there that you fully believe the thing could hurt you if it chooses to.
Okay, I will then start backpedaling.
All right, Bastonn.
I'm going to take a bite out of rare cheek meat, and then go do the exact same thing. I'm going to go right into it with the torch and see what happens.
Poor Makander's like, what is going on?
Quick aside, I flipped over to the actual rule book.
Yes.
1d8 for a torch.
Called that right. Better at this game than I realized.
Yeah, the little section in the quick start on torches actually explains that a torch does the same damage as a wooden club, but only it's considered fire damage.
Well, excellent.
Nice.
And that was the exact same thing from the core rule book. They probably just
so I succeeded in mine. 10 under 14.
All right. So you're able to slam your torch into the face of this hulking beast-like creature, or not like beast-like, but like hulking giant humanoid creature. Roll your D8 damage. 4
points.
So there's no bonus to that. It's just whatever the fire does. So there's like a hissing sound, is almost like a hot iron into quenching fire, like sizzles, and the face sort of molds and turns into a vapor for a moment, and the entire like the armor of this creature sort of like shakes, almost like it's ready to fall apart, but then it resolidifies and congeals itself back solid. It is now its turn. So again, I will roll a d6. It will tell me what action this creature takes. I got a 3. That is the Hand of the Dead. The creature raises its hand and gestures at a player character within 10 meters who is thrown 2d4 meters away and lands prone.
Please be me. Please be me.
The attack inflicts the same amount of damage and cannot be dodged. So I will...
Can it be ducked?
I think he's about to get ducked.
All right. It's actually going to... Aodhan is the one who he attacks.
The guy way in the back.
Rude. What a rude ghost.
So you're going to take 5 points of damage. You're going to be thrown back 5 meters, which is what, 15 feet? And yep. And you cannot be dodged or parried. So that just happens. There's nothing you can do about it. That's on 6.
All right. Aodhan is again thrown a decent distance away, bounces a number of times. You can hear there's a rattling, and then like what sounds like should be something popping. Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So the creature gets to go on a 7 as well. So it's also going again. This time I rolled a 2, which is a Dreadful Gaze. An unlucky player character stares directly into the wight's horrible eyes as a wheezing sound is heard from the creature's throat. The victim becomes scared, suffers a fear attack, and gets a bane on their will roll. So this essentially is the attack that killed the goblins, but it did enough damage that they couldn't survive it. I'm going to say that it just makes sense for me that this is Makander. Like you finally turned around to see what's going on, and that's what causes you to like lock eyes with it.
Yeah.
So you become scared automatically, and then
Don't look in it.
So before this, I was doing the very classic Donald Duck where he's like bent over and just his tail is sticking up in the air, so he didn't see the ghost or see any of this. He sees the wizard like fly across the room because he's doing like that he's covering his eyes, but his fingers are still open. So at that point, I stand up and I turn and I see the ghost.
You see the ghost. All right. So you become scared. Then you suffer a fear attack, and you get a bane on that will roll, which I believe a fear attack is a will check, basically.
Sure. So I need to roll under my will with disadvantage. So I take the higher.
Correct.
And I completely fail.
All right. So
18 over 14.
if someone has Control F, want to search fear for me right fast, I will find it.
Fear table. Let us see. Fear. When struck by a fear attack, you must immediately make a roll against willpower. The roll can be pushed and does not count as an action. Particularly frightening events can give you a bane. If the willpower roll fails, you must roll on the fear table on the next page. It is a 1d8 roll.
All right. So Makander roll.
Okay, can I push this one though?
Yes.
Because said I could.
You automatically you're already scared, so you have to take an additional condition for the push, and you do have to roll both dice, so you're still rolling twice with the bane.
Fear is the mind killer.
Here's the little death.
It brings total obliteration.
But my duck ability ill-tempered lets me spend 3 willpower points to make a skill roll with a boon, and the boon would cancel out the bane.
Correct.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to get angry, and I was already scared,
Yes.
and I'm rolling under my will.
Yes.
Come on, baby. Success, 13 under 14.
All right. Then you do not have to roll on the fear table,
Yay.
but you are
now
scared and angry.
Again, normal state of my life. It's fine. I know how to do this.
2023, am I right?
All
right.
Worst timeline.
Okay, so that brings us to Aodhan.
Michael, I'm sorry. I need to AFK for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Is standing a movement action? Does that?
I believe you can stand for
take my
free.
feet.
I think so.
Okay. Aodhan will stand, brush himself off briefly, and then point at the white, and just say, "En fuego."
Don't attack till you see the white's eyes.
And cast. He's going to cast fireball.
Okie dokie. So I'm not familiar. I have to double check that.
Yeah. So the casting is, again, it's with my element. It's under elementalism, so I need to roll under for that.
Okay.
If the spell hits, or if I'm successful, the spell just goes off, and then it will be. I will wait to tell you what to roll to see if I actually succeed. Ooh, that is over. That's a demon.
Ooh, and you cannot push a demon.
No, you cannot push a demon.
Okay.
You can fall with them over the bridge, but you can't just push them over the bridge.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't remember reading anything about demons.
The only thing that happens is if you roll a demon, you cannot push the roll.
Okay, so it's a failure. You spend the willpower points. Nothing.
Yep. So Aodhan points and says "En fuego," and out of his finger you see like this little. There's literally like a little. It's like a little bit of flash powder goes off, and like there's a smoke from the end of his finger, but nothing happens.
Very much not hiring you for my daughter's parties.
All right, Makander, you're the only one.
This has never happened to me before, I swear.
It happens to every mage in his life.
Yes. It's not a big deal.
Don't let the beard fool you. I'm fully capable.
Just let me
Go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
All right.
You just get started. I'll join you in a minute.
I am very angry, and I'm going to swing my battle axe at this ghost because I'm too angry to remember I have to try to get a torch. I'm just going to attack it.
Okie dokie.
Ooh, a hit, 6 under 14.
Is that a magic weapon?
Nope.
Then it goes through it as the creature turns to mists around your blade and then reforms on the other side, and your hands get a shock of cold as your weapon passes through it, but it does no damage.
Oh.
Womp, womp,
Well, now I'm more angry.
All right, so that puts us back into a new round, so we will draw for initiative again. All right. Makander, you get the deuce this time. Orla, 6. Aodhan, 10. Bastonn, 7. And the creature, which Michael correctly identified as a white, is 3 and 4. All right.
You actually identified it as a white.
Did I? I thought
did.
I was saying it was a creature. I tried to. I meant to. Oh, well.
No, it's okay.
All right. So, Makander. So technically I was right because I said Michael. And that's me. So
That's right.
I spoke of him in third person.
Yes. As you
Michael
do.
did. Michael did.
Michael
do
did
that.
it. All right, Makander. So you are up once again.
All right, so I saw my axe just slide through it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the torches in the room aren't giving off any heat.
Right. The ones in the room are not. So I'm assuming you have a torch.
Yes.
The others, I think, had mentioned they lit them, so I wasn't going to question it. If you want to get a torch, I will say you'll have to light one or grab
Right.
someone else's.
So I am going to back away at this point, still kind of keeping my guard up with my shield.
So you have to make an evade roll if you exit melee combat. Otherwise, it gets a free attack on you.
You know, I'm going to try it.
All right.
What is my evade? Oh, it's a 5. Wonderful. I got a 2. I got a 2 under a 5.
Excellent. So the creature will take a swipe at you with its sword. I still can't see anywhere that it's... it's a morning star. Sorry, it's wielding a morning star. It takes a swipe at you with it, but it misses.
Okay.
You dodge out of the way.
So I'm going to back up to... because I'd run into the room, and you said I walked past 2 hallways going to the left and right.
Correct.
So I'm going to back up and kind of like to one of those corners.
Mm-hmm.
And then from my regular action, take out a torch and light it with my flint and tinder.
Excellent. All right. It is now the white's turn. It gets 2 attacks back to back. So I will roll a d6. And I got a 5. That is crippling cold. The white grabs an unfortunate player who feels the chill of death spread through their body. The victim takes d6 damage, armor has no effect, and must make an evade roll, which is not considered an action, on their next turn in order to act at all. If the roll fails, the new attempt can be made on their turn. The victim also becomes cold and cannot heal hit points or willpower points until they get warm. All right, so I'm just going to say that's Bastonn because you're the one that's right there. You haven't acted yet again. So you're going to take 6 points of damage.
Oof.
Holy.
You are cold, and you must make an evade roll at the start of your turn in order to do anything. And then it gets to go again. And this time, I've already done that one. Shit. Shoot. All right. Power attack. That's number 6. With creaking joints, the white swings its weapon in a powerful attack against a character. The damage is rolled with twice the weapon's normal number of dice, and the victim is knocked to the ground. The attack can be parried. So, basically, Orla, this one's coming at you.
I would like to parry, duck, dodge, parry, dive, and dodge.
I completely think that's a good idea for you.
So do I roll an evade check then?
Yes. Well, are you parrying it or are you evading it? Because
No, I'm trying to evade it.
okay, so then yes, that is a dodge. I guess basically it's I think evade is a skill, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So you just gotta all you gotta do is get under your evade.
I did.
All right, so you have evaded it, which I believe means you take half damage or no damage. So someone control F evade for me.
I'm trying to find it. On a success, you evade the attack and take no damage.
Aha, okay. Then you successfully took no damage. That does
Yay.
take your turn, however.
I know.
Okay. Bastonn, you must make your evade roll to see if you can do anything this turn.
I cannot.
All right. And then Aodhan.
We're gonna try the In Fuego again.
All right.
So so Aodhan like rubs the finger on his robe and then tries again.
Right.
In Fuego.
Switch to your middle finger.
Sometimes that helps.
I find these two fingers work best.
Only if you keep your nails trimmed.
Yes, that's very important. Hygiene.
Always.
And that is a dragon.
Whew. We're just running the
So-
spectrum over here.
What the hell?
All right. So with dragon on a magic spell, the damage or range is doubled. The spell costs no willpower.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I can immediately cast another spell and get a bane on the roll. So you'll see In Fuego, and then his eyes get wide as he realizes what has just happened.
Yeah.
And then he's like
Double inflated.
no, then his other finger comes up like again, like kind of like finger guns. The other one's like uno mas, and another fireball with.
All right. Well, let's deal the first fireball first.
Okay, so that's 2d6. So the first, actually, it'll be 4d6 for the first fireball.
And armor does not affect this, correct?
Double checking. I don't believe so.
now when you say fireball, for those of us in melee,
It is
range,
not. So
okay.
it is not considered an area of effect spell.
Okay, cool.
It is a targeted fireball that lands at a target, not an
Okay.
area.
Thank you.
Throwing a softball at this thing.
All right. So the first fireball, a successful fireball, I will say.
Yeah. Very successful.
I mean, like went to
Does-
college fireball.
Scholarship.
No, 100%.
17 points for the first one,
Wow.
Okay.
and we are rolling with a bane on the second. They're both under, so not as successful, but they both succeed.
So you do spend willpower points on that one, but you
Yep,
do
and
get
that
to do
is-
regular fire.
That is, and it's regular fire damage. That's 2 more points. 11. Or sorry, 2 more dice, 11 points of damage. So one fireball, boom, and then another fireball, boom, out of Aodhan's index
All right.
fingers.
So
Double up.
when the first one
Double up.
hits him, he actually stumbles backwards and he sort of swirl and shifts around those portcullis gates. So he's actually in the other room when the second one hits him. When the second one hits him, he just sort of like pops like a balloon and goes in just in every direction. And his morning star clatters to the ground. And there's like a breath where you're like, holy crap, we did it. And then his ghostly hand comes up, grabs the morning star and pulls it down into the earth. So he is
Ooh.
defeated, but he is not yet completely defeated.
Ooh.
Okay, so we are out of initiative. What would you like to do?
I will walk slowly to the rest of the group, almost ashamed. That was not a dumb ghost. That was a pretty cool ghost.
Do you also now understand that I was telling you to evade, not I was calling you whatever you are?
Yeah.
I can't actually pronounce the name of your race in your language. I do not speak Portuguese.
Stretch there was impressive.
I would also like to thank
Rude.
Rook and Rasp for that pun. They had it in the chat earlier, and
That's
I
a
had
team
to bring it
effort.
around because it was
Yeah.
so good.
We had a writer's room
Thank you.
punching things up, second draft in that one. Workshop it.
Exactly. Yep, we'll work on it.
Good teamwork, folks.
Makes the dream work.
That's right.
Bastonn, you look a little blue around the muzzle.
I could use a little help, but I'm all right.
What kind of help? I don't have any hot pockets or anything.
And let's see here. It's like my joints are kind of like too cold, you know? Like this hurts.
Aodhan, do you have anything for cold joints? Maybe a compress or
Aodhan will attempt. Well. Again, you look at Aodhan, and Aodhan is also like kind of like stretching funny. Clearly took a beating from the throw. Lightly bloodied, limping a little. Yes, let me. Certainly, I can see what we can do for our hirsute friend here. I'm going to make a healing check. Rolling under 14. Rolled a 14, so I'll take it.
So looking
So,
at the
how does-
cold condition, essentially your healing here would be creating a fire, allowing him to warm by the fire, which essentially is the only thing that can correct that. But you would know that your medicine check would be like, oh, he just needs warm. So
So Aodhan will take the torch from you, from anybody who has a torch. He'll take it and like stick it in the ground. Stand by that.
you like moving.
I still have my cheek meat on my spear, so I'm just kind of roasting it now.
Yeah, now it's medium rare.
Taking the occasional bite.
All right, so you can take a
Unfortunately,
stretch here, which again is basically a 15-minute rest that will allow you to clear one condition. I believe you can do some self-healing as well if you're interested. I will tell you that there is a mechanic if you wait around too long, random stuff can start happening. So I suggest you don't do that. But, it's up to you.
It says we can do a stretch, which is a short rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
1d6 HP or 2d6 HP if someone else is tending to you and succeeds with a healing roll. So if we want to do that, then we can assume that that Aodhan tended to Bastonn to take the 2d6.
So if you do that, though, you can't heal yourself. So if you're tending to
That's-
someone else, you can't heal.
That's fine. That's fine.
Can I work on tending Aodhan then?
I don't think that would work. But if Aodhan wants to, because we're playing with a little bit.
Okay,
if you
that's
just so if Orla, you would tend Aodhan wouldn't technically
Now,
tend Bastonn or.
now we can do
Oh.
a shift. We can do a shift rest, which is one full shift of time. Can only take place in a safe location where there are no enemies nearby. We would recover all lost HP and willpower, but a shift rest could be interrupted by combat.
So that's where and within the quick start, there's a random table I roll on for every stretch that you spend inside. And something might not happen. Like it is a random roll. Sometimes nothing happens, but there is a chance something will happen. So it's up to
two
you.
of us. I
feel
think
like you should. I mean, I feel like your knowledge in terms of, here's your fire, rest by it. Like I think that you would still be able to heal yourself. Like I feel like that's just a 1d6 for me, which is fine.
okay. Then I will also take a d6 for myself.
Yeah, we can. I'm fine.
So
with the
if you're not tending to Bastonn, then Orla will tend to you, or attempt to tend to you
Okay.
to give you the bonus. And
Okay.
I got exactly what I needed, a 6.
All right. So I'll take 2d6, which should bring me back to full as long as these are all okay, and they do. Thank you.
Yep.
Interesting.
Aodhan like hands you a balm that you can that you apply to maybe like his hip and his shoulder.
It's icy hot, I'm sure.
We call it it's a cold fire balm.
It smells like tiger ass.
All right. So
I'm
to
gonna
be
call it
clear,
Tiger
you are
Balm.
taking a stretch, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I get
But just a stretch.
to roll a d12.
Just a little bit. Gold rains down from the heaven.
No, a stray memory envelops one of the characters. I'm going to say Aodhan, who is suddenly looking out over a strange city of turrets, towers, and horn-like spires.
Maybe it's the smell of the cold fire balm.
Excellent. Something comes flying straight at you, a huge dragon ridden by a knight in golden plate armor, who you actually have a very good image of in your head, because that's who we were fighting a minute ago. The player character must make a will roll to resist fear.
Ooh. Let's see. Well, that's pretty good. I have to roll under an 18.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So let's see.
Famous last words.
I rolled a dragon.
That's pretty good. All right. So you resist the fear, but yes, clearly you are fighting, if not the same knight, one of these fabled dragon riding knights. He was not carrying a lance, in case you were curious.
That's Chris's game.
Yes, that's every other Wednesday or Monday.
Wednesday on the RPG Academy Network.
This interesting. Being at my advanced level of experience in the world, I may have fought one of these gentlemen in the past.
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago, we all saw it. They say the mind's the first thing to go. I can't remember what comes after that. Okay, so that is the only thing that happens. So you're not encountered a combat, so you're able to finish your rest, and you can get back whatever you rolled or whatever determined for your hit points. You can clear at least one condition. I think some of you have the ability to clear more than one certain times, but at this point, we are ready to move on, or I have to roll on the random chart again.
So I healed myself up a little bit and cleared a condition. I think as we were sitting there for a few minutes, straightening my armor, sharpening my axe a little bit, I'm still angry. So I'm still kind of like, bouncing on my webbed feet, but I'm still taking a second to rest. And when everyone seems to be kind of ready to go, I go, well, I don't want to go that way again, but we do have these two hallways. Should we flip a coin, or which way do we want to go?
Left.
I'm surprised you just didn't start walking down one.
Well, maybe I learned my lesson.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe not. I don't know. I heard left. Let's go left.
Good. I say as I bite into some blood, just drools a little bit down.
So gross.
Okay.
Pretty sure if you don't cook goblin well enough, you get G. coli.
Possible.
So at the end of like roughly 60 feet, pretty much a straight tunnel, it opens up to the right, which would be to the north. And a dark and dank chamber, dug out burial. I can't talk. Burial niches cover the walls from floor to ceiling. Broken skeletons, moldered rags, and shards of crushed pottery can be seen all over the place.
Who are you calling niches?
Exactly. I got 99 problems. And
niche ain't one.
Exactly. So apparently this place has been vandalized prior. This crypt area has been broken into. There's skeletons that have been dragged loose of their little sort of, what's it called?
Graves?
No,
Niches?
Yeah, but there's a word for it that starts with a C.
Sarcophagi?
Yeah, it's like a little crevice, I guess. I don't know. That they were like standing in. They've been thrown on the floor. Their clothes have been rummaged.
Crevice.
Closet.
Closet. So would anyone like to make a spot hidden roll?
Does anybody actually have a good spot hidden? Out of curiosity.
I will, as I'm kicking around, and I totally fail.
Yeah,
Totally fail.
a 2. Aodhan
Bless you.
successfully has Aodhan has a 14 for spot hidden. So
Jeez.
All right.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, he is the smart one in the group.
So I feel like as I walk into the room, I see all this mess. I'm like kind of kicking junk aside, just quickly perusing and moving to, I guess, the north end of the room.
Okay.
Because I don't see anything specifically.
So I will tell you that on the north side of the room, I'll circle back to you, Aodhan. At the north side of the room, there is a tunnel that comes off of this room on the north. It's a very short hallway. It leads to another one of those portcullis barriers that leads into that same room that you see the woman in. So you're basically looking at her from the basically behind her now.
Gotcha.
And you can see past that room, there's another hallway. So if you're in your head, you're trying to keep up, it looks like the other two hallways would essentially loop into each other.
So I'm okay. I gotcha.
Okay.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
So Aodhan, as everyone's kind of looking around at the bits and broken bobs, maybe kicking some things over, looking for anything of importance, you start to hear a sound that's like sort of like heavy breathing, more almost like a hyperventilated sort of sound from underneath one of these skeletal bodies. And you rough-handedly pull out by the scruff a goblin. Appears to be a small goblin, so either a goblin that is very small in size of the goblins or perhaps like a youngster. And as you pull it up, you can see that their eyes are completely glazed over. There's white, like they don't have any pupil at all. It's just a straight eye orb looking at you, obviously can't see through them, and is just sort of like slashing a dagger in front of itself at you wildly. Doesn't pose you any danger.
I shoot it.
Okay.
Orla, knife.
That one.
Okay. So as Aodhan is holding up this goblin child by the scruff of the neck.
Literally, Aodhan's like, everyone, I seem to have.
Message for you, sir. You don't have to roll damage. It's a goblin kid.
It's only 28.
Yeah, it's dead.
Literally, I feel like I was holding it by the scruff of the shirt or the tunic, and like the arrow just like yanks it right out of his hand.
Oh yeah, and it's like staples him to the wall, and then the dagger it was holding clatters to the ground as it lets out a last final.
Can it hit the wall like right behind me? Because I was looking down the hall at the mummy.
So when you turn around, it's at eye level.
Yeah.
I'm like swinging my axe wildly. Was that another ghost?
The meat on the younger ones is more tender, if anybody's interested.
Oh God!
Wow.
Why did you stick the thing in the wall right where I was?
Cutting
That was so
someone's legs
scary.
off.
I have got to find. I've got to find a new group.
You need to go on Major and look for someone more compatible.
There's nothing wrong with the duck. He's excitable. Just give him some time.
Here, try this. And I
That
had some of
that
the
little
cheap-
goblin was blind.
And
Posed us absolutely no threat, Orla.
it's a goblin.
and the younger ones are tastier and tender.
I have nothing else to say.
Makander, make a spot hidden roll.
4 under 5.
Okay, so just before the small goblin is pincushioned behind you, as you're looking at this portcullis, a couple things you notice. One, this one has a a locking mechanism on it. So this is actually a door. It's not just iron bars. And you notice that there's a sort of an odd lay to the dirt around the area in front of it. And before you step there, you realize that that is a pitfall trap. Had you stepped there, it would have fallen out from under you. You can either ignore it or you can just activate it and see what happens. But as long as you tell other people, no one will fall prey to it.
So I was about to walk right up to the gate like I did last time. And then I realized as I was about to put my foot down, oh dang, and I pulled it back.
Yeah, and that's when you were to turn around like, hey, guy, and then all of a sudden the goblins, it slides in like a haunted house zombie doll.
100%.
Yeah.
Can I make a like an acrobatics check to see if I stumble backwards and trigger the pit trap?
Sure.
I want to, and I think that would be funny. I fail.
Okay. So yeah, so you stumble backwards onto this pit trap you already knew about, and you need to make an evade roll to take half damage.
What's my evade? Very low. Good. Fail.
All right, you take 6 points of damage from some wooden sticks, basically at the bottom of this pit as you fall onto it.
So I turned around. This goblin staples itself to the wall. I shriek. I fall backwards with my ass, triggering the pit trap.
And then the
Fall
first
to
thing
the-
you see is my face looking down, looking at you.
So I'm lying on my back. I've got like a wooden stake in like my love handle area. I'm bleeding. And this wolf is like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. I'm going to turn around. The duck's alive.
I found a trap. I'm assuming armor doesn't reduce that.
It
falling
doesn't
damage,
say
right?
that it does on this case. I'll say no.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I help him out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for that.
Oh, dang. I should have been rolling even worse because my armor gives me a bane on evade and acrobatics.
Oof.
Same.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
bad
on your
result.
character sheet, if you have armor, there's like a little checkbox for 3 or 4 different things. If it's checked, then you have a bane on those things, which is like sneak, evade, agility.
Yeah.
But if there's a number there, that is your damage absorption from your armor. So if you have, I think Caleb has like a 6. So if I
Yes.
hit you with damage, anything less than 6 does nothing. So
But I failed anyway. So
Okay.
I just forgot about that. So I'm like, there's a hole there, guys.
Yes.
Whew.
You all right there, duck?
I don't want to be here anymore. Can we leave?
as far as you know, there is nothing keeping you from just leaving. However, you have not yet found anything that you've come here searching for.
Yes, we have not yet found the tome.
We still have not found what we're looking for.
Let that one settle for a second.
Well, there is, and is the pit trap just hanging open now that I've triggered it?
Yes.
It didn't reset or anything.
No.
Just-
And you're
okay.
the only one, like there's no bodies down here. This was a one and only situation.
Gotcha.
So it can easily be avoided now that it's opened. The
There is a-
portcullis has a key hole, but no key.
There's a lock right there.
Yes.
Do we want to try to look for a key? I don't know.
Looking for a key.
It's not a bad idea.
Is there anything in the room that looks like it might contain a key?
Well, again, the whole place has been trashed by looters at some point in the past. So basically everything is sort of mixed together, bodies thrown on the floor, things have been rifled through. So a spot hidden check looking for the key would tell you.
Oh,
if you-
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there like bones and stuff?
Yeah,
right?
these are like
everything?
skeletal remains.
can
Your
I
best
grab
guess
a-
is this would be the
okay.
servant's burial, like the clothing. Here's like average. I mean, it's not fancy. There's no gold or jewels or anything of important here. So your guess is this was the servants that were buried here.
Can I find a finger bone and just try to unlock the door with it?
You can, but I'm going to give you 2 Banes on that picking the lock
Ooh.
roll.
Aodhan rolled a 7 on his spot hidden.
Okay. After digging around for a while, you do in fact find a set of keys. There are 3 keys, one of which is broken. The other 2 appear similar, but not exactly notched the same.
Jingle, jingle. Hopefully it's not the broken one.
All right. Would Bastonn like to try to use his finger bone, or would he like to try to use the keys?
I want to use my finger bone first.
Okay. It's a
I
sleight of hand
don't even
roll.
know what I'm using. What is it?
Sleight of
Sleight
hand.
Oh yeah, I'll never get this.
With 2 boons. So you got to roll 3 d20s and take the worst one.
yeah,
Oh,
I got you, man. I got you. This is yeah. Oh man, you're not gonna believe it. I didn't get it done. I did
Aw,
in one.
shucks.
If it was boons instead, I would have done it. But no. The
Wonderful.
finger just kind of like snaps before I even like get it in the hole. It just kind of like falls apart.
That's
Hate when that happens.
always
I hate
challenging.
when that happens.
yeah. Not even getting it in the hole is a problem.
Yeah. Sometimes you just kind of up on the surface, just
You're
miss.
skipping a stone.
Yep.
So hey, we got those keys on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
ring. Would someone want to try
Would
those?
someone like to make a sleight of hand roll with the keys? Slightly easier.
Yes.
I'm a little shaky with this. Orla, please, here, take the keys.
I mean, certainly it's not really my bailiwick, but no.
Oh,
No.
All right. Would you like to push the roll?
Yeah, because I'm actually I would normally use agility and be dazed, but I don't know how that'll work. But I'm getting angry now at this point, so it's because this stupid door needs to open. Angry, and I still fail.
All right. On that failure, you break the key in the lock. This lock is no longer operable. You can still bash through this door, but you cannot open it by normal means.
This lock is defective, so I don't know what to do now.
Huh.
Well, okay, we could kick the door down, but I think the hallways loop around. You want to try the other
Well,
hallway?
why didn't you say that at the beginning?
But wait,
Because I
is there
fell
something
down
like,
a
is there like some
damn
some-
hole.
maybe like a bigger piece of bone that I could use to like leverage it and try and just force open?
Let's just try going around.
Okay.
Yeah, let's trudge back the other way. I'll clank off that way.
I'll take a bite of my
All
sweet
right.
meat.
So yes, basically the dungeon is a mirror image of itself. So you go down the other hallway. There's another chamber to the north. It looks very similar to the one that you're already in, though this appears to be the family crypt. So there are some skeletons in here as well, have already been vandalized as well at some point in time. But there's fine clothing. There's some decently still intact weapons and armor, and there's also some glittering of jewels and gold mixed on the floor. So whoever vandalized it did not get away with what they had found, but they did find some of it.
Okay.
So you said there was crowns and necklaces.
Yeah, I mean not a crown, but like golds and jewels, like rings, necklaces, circlets, that kind of thing. Roughly, you can find, I'll assume you're searching around 5 different caches, each one worth roughly 5 gold coins. So you can decide, is that a ring? Is that a circlet? Is that a whatever? But essentially, there's 25 gold pieces worth of treasure in this room. However, when you grab it, guess who shows up? Roll an initiative, because the moment you touch the family jewels, the white shows up.
Well, we don't roll an initiative if you'd like to draw one for us, though.
Rolling in the deep. All right. So the white materializes from the floor. I will note that the figure appears to have reconstituted some, but not completely. So it has some of the damage from before is carried over. Makander, you have a 2. Orla, you have the 7. Aodhan has the 8. Bastonn has the 9. And the white has a 4 and a 10. So, Makander, you are first to
Ooh.
go.
Okay. And I still had my torch lit as we were walking around, so I'm going to take a swing at it with my torch.
Okie dokie.
And I remember saying it did...
D8.
Yeah, but what attack do I use with it? It said
was a
damage is a
club.
club.
Yeah, so you'd use the same
that-
attack that you'd use a club.
Hammers?
I mean, I
There's
still
not
think it's
one for
like
club.
you could swing it like a club or stab like a. So I would say knives, swords, spear. Like, I don't think it
Okay.
requires too much.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 1.
Okay, that essentially double damage. So you're gonna roll 2d8 for the damage
So
here.
2d8. 7 total.
7 total. So yeah, so you slam the torch into its face, which again, it kind of mists around it, but it does take some damage from the fire.
Yeah.
All right. Whoops. Damn it. All right. So the next up is the white with a 4. So once again, I roll a d6. I got a 4. That is a sweeping attack. With surprising speed, the white sweeps its weapon in a deadly attack. All player characters within 2 meters suffer weapon damage. The attack can be parried. So I'm just going to say, for the sake of the stream, you're all in that 2 meter range, so you're all going to get a hit.
So
We'll
I
attempt
already
to parry.
I
Yes,
can
attempting
neither
to parry.
parry nor evade because I went already.
Correct. So Aodhan.
Okay.
So you can wait to see if it hit. Well, actually, I don't have to roll to hit. It does damage. So you would have to roll your parry. And again, you're under
What's the target?
So it's basically you are under your own parry skill.
So parry is
yep,
not a
sorry.
skill though.
Yep.
It's parry would use your weapon. So if you're using a weapon to parry, you roll under your weapon skill.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
If you roll to evade is a skill.
Yep.
So you would roll under that one.
All
Okay,
right.
so
if I'm reading this
I'll be rolling under my staves because I'm using a staff to parry. Okay. I'll take it. That's a 10.
Okay. And then Orla, are you doing anything? Or
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll
And
take it.
Bastonn, are you taking it?
Oh, I'm gonna try and parry. Yeah,
Okay.
and I did succeed a 12 under a 14.
All right. So double check if you're looking at it. Caleb, parry means no damage at all, or is it like
Yes. I remember that from last time.
okay? So those of you who successfully parry take no damage. Those of you who did not or could not take 12 points of damage.
Oh
Ouch.
God. I am
You
Yeah.
said take 6?
No, it sounds like if you parry, you take none.
All right.
hold on, let me double check since we're here.
So
Yeah, let's double check that.
I'm going to double check this myself because
Because I thought there was something about parrying that it could like damage your weapon.
well, I have now made a grievous tactical error. I thought that was a 7 in my armor rating, and it's a 1, so I take 11 points of damage. And say ow, really, really. Actually, it's more like a scream, but you know.
Okay, so yes, this is important. So if your parry succeeds, the enemy's attack hits your weapon or shield, and you suffer no damage. However, if the damage exceeds your weapon's durability, the weapon is damaged and cannot be used again until it's repaired. So your weapons would have taken 12 points of damage, which is
All right, so
Probably just broken.
Yes, yeah. So Aodhan's staff literally shatters under the blow.
And my short spear also, well, doesn't shatter, but it gets all jacked up. And my sweet meat goes flying and hits the ground.
Well, that's the
and
worst part,
Yeah.
clearly.
Now I'm not very happy at all.
Orla
And,
gets shattered and hits the ground.
and I am at 0. Well, technically, I'm at negative hit points right now, but I think it stops at 0.
yeah, unless you take enough to, I think, kill you outright. So you're at 0, which means you are dying. You have to make death saving throws. You can also rally. So one of these other people can yell at you and tell you to get up and walk 10 more steps, and you will possibly. You can even rally yourself, which I think is kind of an interesting thing. But I think we come to that to your next turn. But Orla, you're up. So you're go on 9. The white goes again on 10.
Oh, jeez. He didn't. The mage didn't say whether they were immune to everything but fire, or took less damage from fire,
Immune.
or from everything but fire.
Yeah, magic and fire are the only things that will hurt it.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah. Aodhan was very clear about the fact that your weapons will do nothing to it.
All right. Then I will hit it with my torch again, or attempt to hit it with my torch again.
Okay.
That actually does hit. So that is good for me. So I'm going to roll. It's just fire, so it's just D8.
Oh, wait, I'm not dead. I forgot I had armor.
Yeah, you have like good armor too.
Max damage, 8 points of fire.
Okay. That is once again going to send the white reeling away from you. He turns into smoke, fades into the floor, grabs his morning star, and pulls it down with him.
I really do not like that.
This is the worst. I'm very mad that we are here and that this guy is kicking our asses.
I'm beginning to think there isn't a troll nearby.
How about we leave? Leave? One vote for leave? Second?
So
Leave?
The dude knocked my meat on the ground. I'm done. I'm fighting him. I'm with my torch.
So there is
he's not here. You could just pick your meat up and like reattach it or something.
So there is a portcullis in front of you. You have one key left to try. You do know that the room beyond the portcullis, which you've already seen, has the woman's mummified body, a book, and a weapon that has not shown any signs of aging. It's magic. So, might be something if you're curious.
So someone try the key.
Wait.
Makander, you've run through this whole thing. You've been rushing us through. Take the key. Go try the portcullis.
I want to pick something heavy up and throw it on the ground in front of the door.
What, do you need a step stool? I mean, I can pick you up if you can't reach the block.
That was where the hole was that I fell into last time.
There is no trapdoor on this side.
Okay, then. Okay, I will try this stupid key in the stupid lock.
So again, this is a sleight of hand.
Sleight
roll?
of hand, you said?
Yep.
Hold on, I got to go back to I'm sure it's terrible. Oh, yeah, it's a 5. Let's see. Nope, 7 over 5. I break the key.
All right, so you're saying, do we want someone besides the duck to try to use the key?
All right, so outside of the game, just generally speaking, what does everybody have for sleight of hand? I have the 6.
No, we didn't. The joke is that I'll go back to the joke. Aodhan's sleight of hand is not good.
Yeah, mine's terrible.
This is fantastic. I love it.
Mine is marginally better than yours, Al.
All right. So the key breaks. So now the only way to proceed forward is to use either magic or brute force. These doors can be broken down. It just takes time. I will tell you again, just because we're running a little bit low on time, we want to try to be done by 10, that if you make too much noise, that is one of the things that will draw the white to you. But when he takes so much damage, he flees. So you're currently in sort of a space where you can make noise and he's not going to show up anyway. So if you just want to say you take some time, or it specifically mentions the pillar spell, if you want to spend the willpower, is a way to break the door specifically.
Ooh. The pillar spell.
Well, I think so just to be clear, so we have no doubts here. Our friend tried the key.
Yes, it broke.
It broke.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no more keys.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And no more sweetmeat. It's on the ground.
You can wipe it off. 5-second rule. Jeez.
I do think it's funny that you will flay a recently deceased corpse and eat it, but if it touches dirt, no, that's
Wow.
a bridge too far.
I have standards.
The cold was keeping it fresh.
I'd like to do an elementalism roll, or perhaps I'm looking to see. It's not really a good, maybe just a straight intelligence check to see if the pillar spell is something that Aodhan would realize.
Okay.
I roll under a 16. That is a 6. So yes, looking at the portcullis, looking at the surrounding structure, Aodhan's like, everyone stand back from the portcullis.
I move.
I may have a solution.
Yeah, I'll back up too.
Orla actually kind of limps, holding her ribs over to the side.
And someone help Orla, please.
I mean, I'm bleeding out too, for the record, but okay.
Bastonn, can you control your hunger enough to help our bleeding companions?
No, I'll be fine. You can.
I can help Orla. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't promise you anything.
Yeah, you go
with
go
regard to Makander. I
help. That's fine. I'll be okay. Go help Orla.
You know,
I'll
I might
I'll
take
survive.
a bite. Maybe just a lick.
No, thank you, please.
No.
Alright.
I think can I heal myself? Actually, I can put bandages on this. It's not a problem. It's compression, and
And then Aodhan, Archmaster Aodhan, will kind of puff his robes out a bit and crack his fingers. And he makes a similar motion to what he made at the top of the pit. He does what he does.
All right.
And then the magic, the word Erectus.
I was drinking water, man.
And then again, an earthen pillar kind of starts to form underneath the portcullis and pushes upward. Let me make the roll to make sure it's not a failed spell.
Yep.
because you might need Erectus Maximus. I mean,
I'm going to take a bane.
a little blue bane.
I gotta take a little blue bane.
Wait 15 minutes.
Yep. You see him go, Erectus!
It happens to a lot of mages at that age.
There we go. That's better. Both of them were under, so 8.
Okay. So yeah, so this pillar of earth rises from the ground and it just sort of like crunches
the pillar comes up and then stops for a second, and then blows up.
It like Hulk Hogan's itself, and then goes all the way up.
And then in the background you can hear, I am a real American.
So it falls back down. There's a crashing sound. You made so much noise that, again, if the white had not just been defeated temporarily, it would have rushed here to attack you, but you have a moment of respite in the middle. So you now have entrance into this other room. It's, like 40 foot by 20 foot, rectangular. The only thing that's really in there's a table with a chair. There's the mummified corpse of the lady in the chair looking at the big book. Next to the big book is a very fancy looking warhammer. And then across from her, so like right when you walked in, as you saw into that room originally through that first portcullis, that looked like a blank wall. But now that you're a little bit closer, there's actually a little bit of ornamentation in the wall, and there's a door, but it's not a hidden door, but it's one of those where it's sort of made to look like the rest of it. You can clearly see that it's there. There's definitely a place to open that door, but it's, I guess, like a concealed door. You can see it, but if you weren't really this close to it, it's kind of hard to see. I'm overselling that. What would you like to do?
As long as it doesn't say I memorized explosive runes today, we're okay. Aodhan,
Okay.
isn't that the book you're looking for?
Possibly. Let me check the title.
Is the lady wearing any cool jewelry?
I want to pick
know-
up the hammer.
Hold on.
TPK, cats and kittens. Let's go.
All right. Aodhan, roll me a languages roll.
Ooh. All right. Hey, that's not a bad stat. 14. That's a dragon.
Excellent. So yes, you
Wow.
are familiar with the writing on this book is in an ancient language that you now know relates back to that Dragon Empire. It is written in that language, but you have studied it, or at least enough that you can decipher some of the words, and you can essentially, this is a history of the Dragon Empire. So it is not a book of spells, but it would be very valuable to the right collector or not, school of knowledge.
Aodhan picks up the book, and you can see that there's kind of there's a forlorn look on his face. And from a small pouch on his belt, he pulls out a small a small blue vial. And just kind of looks at that and then looks at the book. Looks sad.
Okay. I will say, Makander, the woman is dressed in finery, but she's wearing chainmail armor, which I neglected to mention earlier because I didn't see it on the sheet, that also appears to be in good condition, has not been affected by the ancient thousands of years below here. She has a ring on her left hand, which is a opal, and she's wearing a circlet, a gold-banded circlet, actually across this way that's holding her hair back, and it's encrusted with rubies. Bastonn, the light warhammer is also inset with jewels, and the moment you touch it, the spirit of the lady rises. And a bluish tinted female form rises up out of the body of the figure. Essentially, it's the woman's spirit that has raised. And she looks at you in a very stern and Karen-like face, points as if she's telling you to leave. And she says things in a language you do not understand, but I'm going to say that Aodhan does because it's the same language, but spoken. Again, you probably don't speak it fluently, but it's clear that she is telling you to leave before she calls her husband.
We are being asked to depart, or her husband will return.
Ask her if I can have the hammer.
I feel like I had come around to pick up the circlet right as Bastonn was touching the hammer, and I like froze because the ghost came out, and the ghost is looking at them, and I still like slide it off.
Yep.
Real slow while I'm looking up at the ghost who's maybe ignoring me.
And Aodhan Aodhan translates.
All right, give me a sleight of hand, Makander.
Oh shit! I think that's a 5. Yup. Hold on. Ah! I got a 3 under a 5.
Right. So, yeah,
Go!
so you're able to just pull it off, and because the body is still there in the chair, the spirit has risen, is standing up. So so you have the circlet now removed from the body.
I'm just gonna slide it down my shirt.
All right.
Orla is attempting to remain unseen and possibly hide in this room before that thing shows back up. I'm gonna make a sneaking check. That's a dragon. Nobody knows where Orla went.
Orla has just disappeared.
Wait, were there
Aodhan,
4 of us?
the figure again is pointing on the way out, and then Bastonn, you were reaching for the warhammer. Are you still going to, like, basically as you touched it, this all happened? But if you still want to grab it, you can.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the warhammer.
All right. So we're going into initiative then.
Oh my god.
All right. Again, does anybody not want initiative?
I'm in.
All right.
Makander
has the 6.
In.
Orla has the ace. Aodhan has the deuce. Bastonn the 7. And the lady has 4 and 8. So yes, she gets to go twice. She is also a ghost.
I thought Kaylee had 8.
No, ace.
Ace.
It's the 1. So the lady is a ghost. She's a different type of specter than the white, but can also only be affected by magic weapons or fire. All right, Orla, you are first to go. Now, you are completely hidden, so you would probably be able to do a sneak attack, but unless you have fire or magic, it's not going to matter.
It's like I would also like to point out that anyone watching this, don't play this when you're playing Orla, because she's useless with her weapons.
Everyone should totally like switch with me.
I thought that was really funny though. It's like the 2 main creatures in here are both things that can only be affected by fire and magic weapons. No one has magic weapons. There's one in the adventure.
Not though, right? Isn't that what we said? This hammer's got to be magic.
Yeah.
The hammer is magical. Yeah.
Yeah. So switch with me.
I suck with hammers, so
I mean, it's you on your own time.
Wow.
She said it.
Spicy. Thanks for taking a spicy
Muy
turn.
caliente, as the people say. So I apparently the way I managed to hide so well is I had put my torch down on the table while everybody was looking at this thing.
Makes sense.
I'm going to run forward and grab it and shove it into her ghostly form.
All right. You roll with an attack. If you want to make a sneak roll first and succeed, then you'll be able to attack with a boon.
May I consider my nat 1 on my sneak attempt earlier as that?
Sure.
Okay. Then
That's a good one. I like
So then
that.
you roll this attack with a boon, and if it hits, it's considered a critical. No, they can't parry it. That's what.
yeah, I hit with a 9.
All right. So that's D8 damage.
Is it doubled?
I don't think so. No, I think
No,
it
that's
just
just
can't be
criticals.
parried. Yeah.
Okay. 7.
7. Okay. As similar to what you saw with the white, the fire goes into the body, and there's like a hissing sort of wet, hot iron into wet sound, and her form sort of wigs out a little bit, but it does not defeat her. Aodhan.
Fireball. Ghostly thing. Fireball.
Fireball.
Let's see what we do here.
Fireball.
Rolling again
Fireball.
14 rolling under 14 for Elementalist. 13. All right, I'll take it.
That'll do it.
It's under, so that's 2d6. Nine points. A tiny fireball
All right.
flies out.
Her entire form begins to sort of disincorporate, and even though she's still whole, it's like her body is losing cohesiveness. So she's actually expanded out in every direction a little bit, but it's more misty. But she is not yet defeated, and it is her first attack. And I just dropped the other cards. Darn it! All right. Sorry. Okay. So I roll a d6 for her as well. I got a 4. That is the death stare. The ghost towers over a player character. I'm choosing Bastonn because you're the one touching the hammer. Staring directly into their soul with its dead eyes, the victim sees their life pass before their eyes and is tormented by grotesque visions of their dead friends and foes, which I don't really think would affect you. The victim becomes scared and suffers a fear attack and gets a bane on their will roll to resist.
The problem is he saw all of them, but he couldn't eat all of them.
So he's
They
angry.
were all inedible.
I saw all the fallen sweetmeat. It really all through my whole life, like the
Every
the
single
choking
time.
on the chicken bone, and I choked on the chicken, and
It was like a quick montage of all the dropped meat,
all the
all
times
the
that I
meat that's
missed,
fallen.
yeah, all the times that I missed some food. It was killing me. And so I need to roll to resist the fear attack. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yep.
But with a bane,
Correct.
I failed both ways. So
Country and Western.
That's right.
that's right.
Bring the
All
joke
right.
back.
Can
around.
somebody, Caleb, can you double check that fear thing?
The fear table is 1d8.
Yeah, what he said.
I got some spammer in chat. I'm trying to get rid of them, but I don't know how to do that. So sorry, everybody has to see that, but we're close to being done. So
Mm-hmm. So give me 1d8, Alan, and I will read you the result.
6.
6. Rage. Your fear turns to anger, and you are forced to attack its source on your next turn. In melee combat, if possible, you also become angry.
Yes. That's what I like to hear.
all
I'm
right.
both scared and angry at the same time, just like the duck.
I believe that Makander is next, though, but you both get to go before that. If you want, Caleb, just for the sake of narration, if you want to switch with Big Al, so he would actually go next,
Yeah.
you would still get to go before, but narratively
Yeah,
it
well,
makes sense.
Yeah. So just to show off the mechanic, we're basically switching initiative cards if we were sitting at the table together. So yeah, go for it, Al.
Excellent. I grab the hammer in fear and anger, and I swing it. And as I swing it, I say, "Here comes the hammer!"
Turn
The
into
hammer is his penis.
Oh, Dr. Horrible.
Uh,
Well done, Kaylee.
Yes.
very well done.
Well done.
Wait, isn't the Mallards curvy?
It's corkscrew.
It's not the Mallard. It's the wolf.
Oh.
And if you want to see that, go to Bad Dragon account.
So it is.
Hey,
it is a
not
light
sponsored, not
warhammer.
sponsored.
Hey,
Not sponsored.
dragon,
But if you're
Wow.
interested.
dragon on the attack, baby.
Seriously?
So
oh,
that's
way
gonna
to
be-
go, Al. Good job.
Double damage.
4d6.
Oh, jeez.
4d6.
Yeah, well, it's 2d6 normally. Since you critted, it's 4d6, and you would get your strength modifier as a bonus die.
Which is also a d6. So I'm going to roll 2d6 and double it, and then I'm going to roll a third d6 for the modifier.
While Al does math, anyone in the chat, please note that the person who posted that spam, if you click on them, you can then report them for being a spammer. Let's get that guy blocked. And now, returning to our game.
Unfortunately, that was only 12, but still 12 points damage.
12 points of damage is actually enough. So the ghost just basically shatters into like mist, and there's just a puff of cold that fills the entire room. Now, as a ghost, it is not dead, but it is defeated for a length of time, which will be much longer than you're going to be here. But eventually, it will reform. Specters can only be killed, and ghosts can only be killed in certain ways. That, however, is going to summon the white back. So once the wife is dead, the husband returns. He is still injured from his last battle. So we will just keep the initiative rolling. I will give him the lady's attack left over. So Makander, you are up to go.
All right. So swinging with my torch as he comes into the room. 11 under 14.
That will hit.
And I think it was 1d8.
Yes.
Do I get my strength damage for this or no? Because
No.
it's fire.
Yep.
No. Okay. 6.
6. All right. All right. So yeah. So basically, Aodhan has magic, and now Bastonn has a magic weapon, are the two that are really going to be able to do damage. But the fire does work. All right. So the white will take the action of his late wife. The 1, that is an unholy roar. The white's decomposed skull contorts and lets out a ghastly scream that cuts like a rusty blade through the character's souls. Everyone within 10 meters suffers a fear attack.
It's everybody.
I hate to ask this, but what is the defense against a fear attack again?
It's will.
It's a will.
Yeah, we roll versus our will.
Oh,
And I'm still
okay.
scared, so
I was looking at
still-
skills. So
I still have a boon, right? I mean, not boon.
Yeah, you'll have a
thing
boon.
against it.
Yep.
A bane.
Woo! Made that. Thank God.
Made that as well. Rolled an 8 on the willpower save.
3 under 10.
Woo! Made it.
Nice. I guess you guys have fought this guy 3 times. You're like, dude, nothing.
I have failed
it.
those, so I am scared again.
Oh, you're scared.
Oh.
Mm.
All right. So you have to
You gotta
roll
roll
the fear
one, you
table.
gotta roll a
The
D8,
fear table.
right?
Yep.
Fear table.
It was a D8, right?
A 1d8.
Yep.
7, please and thank you.
7, you said?
Yes.
Paralyzed. You are petrified with terror and unable to move. You cannot perform any action or movement on your next turn. Make another willpower save on each subsequent turn, not an action, to break the paralysis.
So I basically skip a turn and the turn after I could save.
Well,
If
see,
I'm-
no, you cannot perform any action or movement on your next turn, but you can perform a willpower roll on each subsequent turn because that's not an action.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Which would
So
then
you
give
can make the
me-
willpower next roll. You can't do anything next turn. You can make the save, possibly.
So
Makes
we're,
sense.
we're
So that
skipping
you
you
free
this
up your
turn.
turn.
The next turn, you will get an initiative card, and if you roll well, you can do it.
I'm with
Orla
you.
gets a 2. Aodhan has a 4. Bastonn an 8. And the white gets 5 and 6. So Orla and Aodhan both get to go. It will go, and then Bastonn goes.
I think Aodhan's going to trade off with Bastonn.
Oh, excellent.
All right.
I
Orla.
wasn't even paying attention to what your number was,
Okay.
but I take it that means I get to go.
I think I go on 4.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you'll get to
Orla
go
is go-
before now.
So, Michael, I'm going to attempt to rule of cool this. So let's see how this works. Orla is going to take the torch, and since this table is kind of like it's a wooden table, I'm going to say, and it's kind of rotted. There's like a small like crack in it. She jams the torch into the crack, leaving it standing straight up between her and this Dragon Knight. And she reaches back over her shoulder, and I'm going to use one of my special abilities and do twin shot. She draws 2 arrows and shoots them through the fire,
Ooh.
igniting them and hopefully into his form.
I like
I'll
that.
allow it.
I like that.
So I roll once to hit with a Bane, spend 3 willpower. That is a 7 and a 2, which is beautiful. And then I get to hit him twice with those. So that'll be 2d8. Let me get another d8. Come on. That is 14 damage, or 8 and 6 if you need to know.
Okay.
So the arrows don't do anything, but the fire that is coating them does.
So much like what happened to the lady before, his form starts to lose cohesiveness, and he's now like almost like he's growing. I'm thinking Big Trouble in Little China, when the guy gets and he starts like getting bigger in all directions, but he is not yet defeated. All right, so that brings us to Bastonn. You have the magic weapon.
And I shall use it.
With your hammer and magic weapon.
And that is a hit.
All right. More than likely, it's going to be enough damage as long as you don't roll like really bad.
Hopefully. Yeah. Oh, wait. 2D, what is it?
2d6.
3d6 total. 2d6 plus the 1 that I get. And this hammer kind of sucks, though. Oh, that's enough damage, though.
Except it's
15.
magical. What's that?
15.
Yes. So his armor does block some of that, but it's still enough. So yeah, so you're able to swing through it again. His form just basically just shatters into like dust and mist, and he disintegrates completely. He is also not yet defeated. He will recoalesce at some point in time, but it's long enough that you will be able to finish all your activities here before that happens, unless you just decide you want to stick around and find out what happens.
I kiss my hammer.
Alrighty.
Then I gesture to everybody else that they want to kiss it. They can.
No.
No.
Can we go? I think we're done. Can we leave?
I'm going to have to pick you up. Is that okay, Doc?
I can limp out of here.
Well, you seem to not be moving at all.
I'm saving my energy for when we decide to leave, because I think once I stand up and start moving, I can't stop.
That's fair. I'm going to take the ring off I'm going to loot the rest of the corpse.
Okay.
So now
you
I'm
have
pissed
magical
at it.
16 ghosts come
you have
out.
magical chainmail armor. You have a
Okay.
very expensive ring. Makander already has the expensive circlet. And you have the you have the book, which is also valuable to Aodhan or just a collector. You have the door, the final door, if you'd like to go through it, or you can leave.
Let's open the door.
I want to leave. I vote for leaving.
So this
But
is
perhaps the door leads out.
It's definitely an outward door. Just
Yes.
open the door, Doc.
it does
I'm
open.
gonna stay here. I'm staying here.
I open the door.
All right. This is the final resting place of our Dragon Knight. It is a burial chamber. There are torches on the stands along each side. There's an ornate sarcophagus of stone. The floor, ceiling, and walls are all made of stone bricks, and a painting of a ridden dragon can be seen on the far wall. The sarcophagus is already open. It appears to have been opened from the inside at some point, and is basically thrown against the wall and cracked open. And there is a gilded crown imbued with rubies and a shimmer of magic inside the sarcophagus.
I'll grab it. No, there's no troll in there. Just this. I guess we can go now.
Okay. Sure. So,
Oh God, what now?
well, there is a trap.
That's fine.
And so when you grab it, it basically blades shoot out of the sarcophagus in every direction, and anybody who's within range takes the damage. But the way it's been described, I feel like you're the only one that's actually in there.
Yep.
So you take 11 points of damage.
Oh, I die.
It was 2d6. I rolled a 5 and a 6. Now you don't take -10.
I'm at -8
because of your armor.
I'm at -7.
Okay, so you're not dead.
I'm getting better.
People could drag your corpse out and heal you. You have to make death saving throws, but I will assume that because that's basically the last thing. But it was a cool Indiana Jones thing. Like if you had done a check, if you put something else there, you would take it. The Gilded Crown, when worn, halves all damage by attacks from demons. And the magic hammer glows when it's in the presence of demons. So apparently the demons and dragons were a big thing 1,000 years ago. Essentially, that's the final thing, though. So you can just take your time and leave whenever you want. You can make it back to town. You can do whatever you want to with these items. But you are followed by a persistent story that a gilded knight wearing all black and saying nothing seems to be following behind you. The white has been freed from the containment of the barrow and is searching for its crown.
That's okay. It'll follow it straight to the nearest merchant that'll give me gold for it.
So that
Good luck, dude.
is Dragonbane, Riddermound with a few Michaelisms thrown in there, but that for the most part was the adventure. I really dig this system quite a lot. I think there's a lot of it I really enjoy. So give us a little sort of coda, Orla. So again, give us a little bit of story about what happens with Orla in the future, and then you, if you want to also roll into your sign-offs for Kaylee.
Sure. A couple of years later, after killing, let's see, I'm gonna roll every dice I own. 914 goblins. Orla decides to take the money that she got from selling the crown and buys herself a nice cabin in the woods where she retires for about a week and a half before she hears about the rumor of a one-tusked troll. And then she goes in search of the rest of her companions to go on her quest to finally avenge her dead sister.
Excellent.
And if you want to know more about that, well, too bad. This is a one-shot. But you can also find me on the socials at Anime Girl. You can see that down below here. You can also find me and other people that might be somewhere nearby every other Tuesday, next Tuesday, in fact, over at the Identico Twitch channel where we play Identico, and the group is Chaos Incorporated, which we are very much living up to our names. And as we left off last time, things were exploding, people were on fire, and we're about to jump out of a 36-story building. So,
and your character had just beheaded somebody.
I had just beheaded somebody on the yeah. He tried to throw me off a balcony. I mean,
our hacker
seemed fair.
Literally hacked the head out of somebody.
Well, I did not use my glow though.
Yeah. All right, Aodhan, tell us a little bit about how we see your character, the coda, and then roll into your socials, please.
Aodhan initially intends on selling the book to try and finance some more adventures, but finds himself reading in our downtime on our way back and becomes taken with the Tales of the Dragon Empire and begins to start basically building what one would consider a yarn wall. Of possible places and clues and things that might lead to other temples and treasures that are listed in this book. And Aodhan continues to build this wall, waiting for his companions to return.
Excellent. All right, Makander.
Oh wait,
Michael, do your socials.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my socials. So the socials are again down there at Loser MLW on basically everything. You can find me, as Kaylee mentioned, on Chaos Incorporated on the Identical channel on Twitch, playing the Identical system. You can also find me on the show Tubular Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. You can find that on any of your podcatchers. I play the villain Harbinger, who's been a lot of fun to chew scenes on. You can also find me here on the RPG Academy alongside Michael doing his show for his Smallville recap show, Farm to Fable. In fact, we will be recording the season 4 episode 6. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
see,
season
that's
6, episode 1.
Episode 1, we will be recording on Sunday. So you can find me there too.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. All right. Now Makander.
Okay. So I feel like Makander took a long time to recover from his wounds. And during that time, he reflected a little bit on his life and his choices, and how that hot-headed anger had driven him into this chaotic, injured circumstance. And maybe it really would be better just to relax a little bit and not fight so hard to prove himself from, this family that he came from. And then he said, no, that's stupid. I'm doing fine. I've survived. Screw it. So as soon as he got better, he geared up, sold some treasure, and started, kicking doors down around the land, looking for trouble, and kept up with that until something else happened.
He found it, basically.
And he found it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad that Kaylee, your character, was one that died, not mine, because that's my goal in all of these. So
It makes you feel better. I didn't actually die.
No.
You still went to 0 hit points. On the socials, I am at the Caleb G. You can hear me on Chaos Incorporated, as already stated. You can hear me on Farm to Fable as well. And I am going to be kicking off some fundraising stuff as well over at 0.5past.org. And that's it.
Isn't that coming up like really, really, really soon?
Yeah, I didn't want to say that because I haven't actually done anything, and I'm kind of running into a deadline, and I didn't want any more stress at this time of night. But yes, I am trying to...
Remember, I speak on a galactic scale, so really, really soon could be next year.
Yeah,
This is the May, though.
Yeah. May the 4th, I'm going to try to have a big kickoff. So May the 4th.
Excellent.
May the 4th.
I'll be around.
Yep. All
I'm
right.
here.
Big Al.
Well, Bastonn followed Makander, hoping that he might get his duck. And then Bastonn watched as Makander recovered, and right when Bastonn was about to leave and go off on his own, Makander decided that he was going to go back into the business, and so Bastonn just followed him into it because he thought, hey, one of these days this duck is going to get cooked.
This is just like a really weird buddy cop show now.
I have never, and I can say this, I've never played in a game where one party member has been actively trying to eat the other.
You're not playing the right game.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out, does anyone else have the great mental image right now of the game Duck Hunt, where Bastonn is just the little asshole dog that pops and giggles every time Makander takes off?
I was thinking the more recent Puss in Boots movies where the
he's
wolf
dead.
is chasing
Yes.
the cat the whole time.
He's just waiting for you to die.
Oh man,
But he's not going to kill you. All right. So what about your socials there, Big Al? Anything you want to plug?
You can find me on Twitter at Big Al the Lawyer. That's about it. I hang out on the RPG Academy Discord all the time, so you can catch me there. Once in a blue moon, I do join Michael on Farm to Fable, and that is it.
Of course, my name is Michael. You can find me at the RPG Academy. This was part of our new series called The Sample Adventures. I think this is like the 4th or 5th one we've done. The most recent was Dune. And basically what it says on the tin, we play a one-shot through a system. If they have a sample adventure in the core book or like a quick start, we try to explore the rules as best we can, but the goal is always to have fun. We have like 40 or 50 more of these on a document. We're going through them as we get people scheduled. So we're going to hopefully do a couple of these every month. We had a Star Wars one that hit a hiccup, but I think we got an Engine Heart coming up. There's Fallout, the Modiphius system. There's a Star Trek one that we're going to use the OG Kirk Spock crew. That's going to be coming up soon. So if you want to keep it, follow us on Twitter or just follow us here to get notified whenever we do those. We also have a lot of other stuff we do, detentions every other week, Dragonlance campaign every other week, occasionally just random stuff that happens as well. So there's a lot of stuff here. If you like actual plays or discussion, there's probably something we're doing that you'd be interested in. Obviously, Farm to Fable is a small little rewatch podcast I do. But the last thing I want to plug is Healthy Minds Alliance. It's a new podcast I started as part of my service with AmeriCorps and the Health 360 organization. It is a mental health awareness podcast where I'm interviewing AmeriCorps service members who are out in communities trying to increase awareness and education around mental health. It's like a little 20, 25-minute interview, feel good, people doing great works in the community, and it's got like 7 people that listen. I think it's all the people I've already interviewed. So I would love it if more people would check it out and then give it some boost and thumbs up and that kind of stuff. So with that, we will say good night. And remember, if you're having fun,
You're doing it right.
Doing it right.
Right.
thanks. We'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.